Good morning, everybody. I'm your spooky host, and welcome to Pokemon Draft League. We're here at week 1 of the PPML, Pokemon Draft League, and we're gonna do a little bit of a tutorial today. We're gonna lead off with a match against Judah. We'll lead off with a match against Judah as our week 1 opponent. Very exciting. Very exciting indeed. Make sure I got the chat up and everything. I should leave that up. Let's go into Discord. And PPML link. Copy text. Live. Starting. Alright, let's get this out of the way. Hope everybody's doing well today. Sorry, I'm just typing a message to put in the chat in the Discord for the Draft League. Tweet, please avoid stream until we are done. Alright, so got that. Got the match. We've got Judah. Give me 1 second. Still setting a couple things up here, but very excited to hang out with you guys today. And Doug and I are going to go through what do you do in a draft league, right? How do you prep for a match? What do you think about? How do you use Pokemon Showdown? All that kind of stuff. But today we're going to start off with our week 1 match against Judah. Let's get that going. I'm gonna get in the zone first. That's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm gonna win this match, and then we can focus on chatting. Go and add a friend. Then we'll go ahead and challenge Judah. This is NatDex AG, and we're gonna want to double check that team. That's right. That is right. Okay. Hope you guys are ready. It is time for the challenge. Time to take down Judah. We've got Showdex open. Let's just double check our team again. Heavy duty boots, assault vest, choice scarf, rocky helmet, mirror, blight orb. It's all different. No triple axle, thunderclap. All right, I think we're good. I did not. Normally I do some mocks on these. I didn't do any mocks this time. All right, let's get it going. Send the challenge out. Make sure I mute the tab because the music is really loud when you. Okay. We've got Torterra and Mousehold, which is a little surprising to me, but the rest of the team's looking pretty nasty. What do they lead off with here? Perhaps my Weezing's looking pretty good right now against a lot of the team. And I think it looks pretty good too. I think I got my emergency Mew here. I could start. I don't think anything is fast enough to. I don't need to be worried about a choice scarfer. I don't know if I want to U-turn all over the place necessarily. Interesting thing, no Salamence here. Weezing's a good matchup. Is Pheromosa a bad matchup in any scenario? I don't know. I got Pheromosa, what am I accomplishing? I'm like U-turning? Pretty much immediately I'm U-turning. I kind of like that. If I get scarfed, that's rough. we've got Togekiss. Is that Scarfed Togekiss? That would be unfortunate if that was Scarfed Togekiss. But we'll see what we could do. Togekiss lead feels pretty good. Probably going to be the best special wall on the team. So if I can take care of this guy, then I'm probably in good shape. That's a defensively bulky Togekiss. What are you gonna do to me? Air slash me? Not too worried about such a thing. Trick? Air slash. Okay, that's fine. That's probably Scarfed. If it switches out, probably Scarfed. We trick to find out? Because otherwise we give a Scarf to somebody else. And that could be big. What does he do here? Does he switch in Torterra? Or Volcanion or something? Otherwise we go for a Make It Rain and get big damage off. So if we go for a Make It Rain, maybe he predicts it. What's the mid-ground play here? That's my question. I think we should scout it out. I think we trick. Got boots. Alright, so now it's Scarfed Togekiss. But it's locked into that. So now I definitely don't outspeed. Let's go ahead and switch out, get into a safe place. That's unfortunate, but let's think about this. Do you flamethrower again? I feel like you flamethrower again because you get free damage off. Goes into Volcanion. I would say I'm okay with this. I would say I'm very okay with this. I would like to get some good damage off. I'm not super afraid. If I Fiery Wrath here, it's good neutral damage. I don't like the risk of Hurricane. I don't outspeed, but I don't know if I'm worried about you. Volcanion. What do you got? Are you rocking like ice type moves? I'm not seeing anything like that. Sludge Bomb? Not super worried about such a thing. You're probably not too worried about me though. I'm gonna play it safe. I'm just gonna Fiery Wrath. That's good neutral damage against everybody except Goldengo. Or wait, against Togekiss. What's the choice? Scarf. Yeah, it's not time to go for Hurricane yet. Steam Eruption. It's not gonna do too much. Is that thing assault vested as well? That did 20%. That's AV. So I think what did you do? You Steam Eruptioned. Nothing else wants to take that. I just Fiery Wrath here again. That's fine with me. Do I switch out? Because he probably knows he loses this battle. Unless he burns me. Yeah, I think I want Fiery Wrath here. There's Togekiss again. So here I slow U-turn into something that can beat this, I think. Unless I get flinched. What are you gonna... You're gonna Dazzling Gleam me, right? Or are you gonna fire... I don't die from a Dazzling Gleam, though. I'm U-turning here. There's the Air Slash. There's a flinch. You're locked into it. You're locked into Air Slash. Big U-turn. I think I would kill with... You're locked into this. Okay, so if I pull out Pheromosa here. Poison Jab does kill, I believe. What if it doesn't, though? Because my first attack did 10% with that U-turn. And it's saying U-turn does, so let's give it some more defense. Like, if I said 50. No, it would have to be more than that. It would be like 100 defense EVs, for example. Maybe 150. Then it's still just mostly a chance to kill. I actually don't quite like that yet. I do have the life orb, which is nice. If I go golden go. I already got air slot. I'm going into Pheromosa. An 80% chance to kill. I do outspeed with the choice scarf, which is good. I'm gonna U-turn. I'm gonna U-turn again and take the damage. I need to get this thing a little bit lower, just so I can safely do that. I'm gonna go ahead and... Do I sacrifice Goldenga? Yes, because I want the Moltres for later. And if I'm lucky, I get one more attack off. So I go for a Make It Rain here and try and kill. Resisted Make It Rain. What do you do now? I think so you probably attempt to... Man, I'm still alive. So I outspeed nothing on your team, right? So here I just go for a Shadow Ball and sacrifice gold. What am I worried about? I'm not worried about Mouse Hold. Goldengo is kind of the extra on this team. I'll outspeed if he's max speed. He scoped it out. Does he... I'm just gonna Shadow Ball. Or no, should I not? I want to find out what this does, but I want to be safe too. I think I do. If he Shadow... He doesn't always kill with Shadow Sneak either. I would... What if I don't know if he's physical or special. That's the problem. Otherwise, I would go straight into Wheezing. That would be fine. But I need to I'm scouting out whether he's physical or special, because I don't know. And I get off a pretty big Shadow Ball. He Gyro Balls. That's a physical... That's physical. That's great. What do you do now? So, you're slower than 240. That means, how fast are you? You're probably pretty slow then. Do I just like... I think I just go Wheezing here. I do need to... This up Toxic Spikes, I think. He only had one set of boots. That's gone. And I don't see where the removal is on the rest of this team. Tidy up Mouse Hold, I suppose. But unless this guy's got, like, Psychic on him, which I would be surprised because he's not Life Orb, right? Not Weakness Policy. What does this guy have on him? There's Torterra. There's no way you substitute here, right? Is he Shell Smashing? Is he Shell Smashing? I don't know if he's Shell Smashing or not. brought this meat for the situation. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it. Gonna see if he does the thing. Does he show? Why would he shell smash on this? What is he doing with this? Why did he switch into Torterra? Is he just going to... Is he gonna Terra? Come on, shell smash. Bullet seed. Unexpected. I'm happy to ice beam something. I was really thinking a shell smash was coming, but I guess that was not great prep. Wait a minute. Did that thing... Why didn't that thing take any... Oh, no, never mind. It's been in here. Next thing that switches in will get toxic spikes. Okay, cool. Got a kill there. Torterra's out of the way. That's nice. What comes up next? Shield, Jar Ball. Pheromosa is still healthy, that's good. And most of the things I see, I'm not too worried about. We've got Tyrantrum here. Everything's almost weak enough that I can outspeed and kill it with Pheromosa. I think I'm in a pretty good place here. I think I'm simply going to... gonna Ice Beam here, since it covers... What am I most worried about? Togekiss or Volcanion? I guess technically Volcanion, so I'm just gonna Earth Power. Just get some damage off. I guess I'm still worried about priority from... That's big? Pretty big. He's got some slow guys here today. Wow. Okay, well, you're definitely, like, you're 265 max. You're not outspeeding 65. I could just put in... I don't know what speed you have. Do I want to just... What does he do? I don't really want to take a hit with anything. If he stays in, then I just get a free kill. If he switches out, then I'm also good. Yeah, Pheromosa feels pretty good right now. We've got Mouse Hold at 100%. That could be Focus Sash Mouse Hold, but if I get a turn of Poison on that, that'll be fine. And that's also what Weezing is designed to do, who's fully healthy, is literally just max defense, handle, Mouse Hold with Rocky Helmet. Okay, switches out. Going to go... I think I outspeed this. But I'm gonna go ahead and Volt. I do think I outspeed. Get some damage off. Volcanion's getting poisoned. Tyrantrum dies the next time it comes in. Yeah, that's fine damage. And then, I guess, look, if I'm most worried about Mouse Hold now, I suppose I want to keep my Weezing. I think it's what I'm more interested in saving. Toxic. That's okay. Do I outspeed this too? I may. I'm gonna Fiery Wrath and do some damage. And then I can die to Togekiss. That's fine. You're Toxic stalling me with your Aegislash. But you think I'm going to use I don't know if how much do I care about killing this at this second? Well, that's the priority, right? That's the concern. Just in case he switches. I don't need to overthink this though, right? I can just fire Wrath. No, no. Do I want to kill Togekiss? No. Fire Wrath. Double protects. Fine. Now he probably switches out. There's something he's like trying to do here. Definitely trying to do something here. But I always want to kill this. Like, you can... Am I even going to get enough damage off on Togekiss for it to mean anything? He triple protected. That's incredible. Okay. We hit the Pheromosa button. What do we get? Mouse hold? Mouse hold is in the household, perhaps? Oh wait, just because I had a choice scarf doesn't mean they don't have a choice scarf. I know that thing's slower. So I'm just gonna go ahead and U-turn here. Let's say there's a crazy scenario. I know that's Assault Vest. I've already seen it. Yeah, I just U-turn here. What is it? Water absorb. That doesn't matter. Another 16. It's gonna take poison damage. That's fine. I'm gonna go in the Raging Bolt here. Probably does the ground type move. It explodes. That's okay. Okay, and then what are you gonna do to me? Dazzling Gleam me? I'm going to Thunderclap you. You have anything but attack moves left. I think Raging Bolt might just do it. Okay, there's the Togekiss gone. Going to Tyrantrum, I'm just going to Thunderclap. This Pokemon is crazy. Raging Bolt is crazy. My gosh. What an absolute beast. So now, what do you do? Do you population bomb me? I think first well, you're poisoned. I'm gonna... You can outspeed me if you... What do I need to do? I need to manage my risk here. My biggest risk is tidy up plus something. So what I need to do is Volt Switch here, just in case he tidies up. There's the tidy up. There's good damage. I go into Wheezing. And then I can Thunderclap. I think that's game. I believe that is game. So now what I do is hit the Flamethrower button. And do I need to Terra Fairy here? Do I need to do such a thing? It doesn't even have Technician right now. I can't do any damage to me. I think that's just GG. I'm gonna wait though and be polite. It's rude to say GG too early. Particularly in Draft League where everything is so tumultuous. Alright, we've got a Ghost type Population Bomb against the Rocky Helmet. That's gonna be it. GG. We're gonna upload and share the replay. What a great match. Happy to play such a match. What is that? 3-0. So I'm gonna post this really quick. How's everybody doing, by the way? Thank you for joining. Austin 3-0. That was a pretty good win. That was tricky. And I need to post my team sheet and stuff too. So if you'll give me a moment here, and then we'll get Noah in here, and we'll start talking about how do you draft? How do you, not the actual like drafting part, but the rest of it. How do you participate in a draft league, right? Okay, so I'm gonna post the PokePaste link, and then I'm going to take a screenshot. Snipping tool. I love the snipping. I love screenshotting tools. They're so helpful. Oh wait, no. Who was it? Phil was talking about the fact that you can do columns mode. That's so much cooler. can't get a nice flipper on my Mac at work though, because I'm like locked out of the app store. It's so rude. All right, so there's the Poke Paste. So what was the prep today? We were looking at Rocky Helmet Wheezing. This is to handle all those physical threats and just punish them with a Rocky Helmet, recover against something trying to switch in on it. Pheromosa just outsped everything and did big Life Orb damage. I brought Life Orb in order to, the Bullet Seed was definitely something. I was so this Mew, you can see the Mew, right? I haven't actually checked the Twitch screen. So I've got this Mew here. That was designed as a let me unlock Chrome. That was basically switch in on Shell Smash and finish the game with pretty much perfect coverage. Pheromosa had Ice Beam for Torterra and Salamence. That's what the Life Orb was for. It's crazy that that killed with negative special attack investment. Raging Bolt, who was the star of the show, with the big priority in the back and just like a nice kind of chunky pivot. Had my special tank in Galarian Moltres able to put some damage out, do slow pivots, take some special damage, and then Golden Go just looked pretty. I kind of like didn't know what else to do with the slot, but I didn't want to lose because I was scared of Judah, so I did Trick. I was thinking I wanted to make sure that Togekiss was not Choice Scarf, because that can really mess you up if you just get like flinch crit or flinched over and over again. All right, so that was the team. It is 6:39, so we've got some time to hang out. I think if Noah, if you're watching, we could hop in a call. GG, that was a blast. Oh, I should put an exclamation mark so he knows I'm telling the truth. Yeah, I'm gonna hop in the lobby and we'll figure out what we're doing here. Oh, interesting. That sound is coming through somewhere else. I need to adjust my Discord settings so that the audio comes through my output device headset. All right, can you try again?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay. I'd imagine I need to crank up the audio though so it can be heard. One more time, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I think that's good. Okay. No worries. It was a great fight. All right. Yeah, so I guess I don't have a distinct plan for this yet, but you had the idea of, hey, what if we kind of hit the basics here and taught everybody new to the league like what they need to know to kind of be successful.
Yeah.
I guess the first thing that's interesting to me, and if you want to go in a different direction first, let me know, but something you wouldn't pick up normally is the Showdex app, the Chrome extension. I think it's Showdex Chrome. Do you use this, Noah?
I don't, but it's because I just play on my phone.
Wow, what a chat.
I have seen people do it, and it looks great. If you're using your computer and you are relatively new to the league, I think it will be a huge help to have a resource in your back pocket to help do some of the math for you. I think it also helps, especially if you're new. There's, I don't know how many, 1,000 Pokemon or something crazy like that, and there's 240 in our league. So you're obviously not going to know the situation of what all these things are and what they're good or bad at. So to have something to help kind of give you a range on what you should expect, I think is a good tool.
Yeah, I think that's well said. So yeah, this can give you like a estimated comparison of what kind of sets you're up against and like what might happen if you do all the moves. The trick to like mastering the tool is being like, okay, well, I see in reality, you can see flamethrower here. So say I did a flamethrower and it did 15 or 12% damage. Well, that tells you that something on Mousehold's side is different than I think. Either it's like loaded up with HP or it has like an assault vest or something like that. So once you use the tool that kind of estimates stuff for you and then adjust based off of that information, you can learn an incredible amount about your opponent. So for anybody starting out or anybody who's been here for a while and been playing Pokemon, I would definitely recommend downloading Showdex and playing with it. It'll, yeah, elevate your game for sure.
How about Austin? I know you kind of did getting. I think we have quite a few people who definitely have probably never even used the Pokemon Showdown app.
Oh yeah.
Do just a walkthrough on how to actually, hey, I'm picking up this league and they wanted me to go to this place called Pokemon Showdown and build a team. How would one go about doing that?
Yeah.
Where would they go? How do they do that?
What a fantastic idea. Thank you. Let me just start fresh really quick to do the whole thing. I'll go incognito here. Pokemon Showdown. Let me pull it up. There we go. Okay, so Pokemon Showdown. This is a fresh, not even an installation. It's just go on your browser to PokemonShowdown.com, right? And I'm gonna move this window around. Apologies if it's annoying. So you get here and you see the screen and there's a lot of buttons. What's going on? The first thing you're gonna want to do is just make an account. So choose name, blah blah blah, and you'll see it kind of just lets you. Oh my god, somebody's already blah blah blah. That's pretty crazy. Pick a unique name like that. Okay, and you see it's kind of weird because it already kind of logs you in a little bit, but it's like a fake logging in. You got to actually go to register, and once you do that, you can like claim the account as your own. But you can like have a name and not like register, which lets you like really quickly just like if you want to queue up a random battle or something, it's just nice to be able to on any browser just hop in there and do it and not have to log in. But that's not a good use case for us, so let's go ahead and log in with our actual account and password. So what can you do here? Well, there's a couple things. You could go online and play people in. If you just go straight here to the battle knob or whatever, you can go straight to choosing any of these many formats to battle somebody online in. But if you're in a draft league, you're probably not doing that. First place you're gonna want to go is the team builder, and in the team builder you can make all of your teams. So say I've got a matchup against Noah. Well, the first thing I want to do is make a new team for Noah. So I'm gonna hit new team, and I'm gonna pick my format. Maybe I'll name it actually. I'll name it. I'll say versus Noah. There you go. And then for this draft league, you actually want to go with National Dex Other Tiers, and then National Dex AG. And now, here's the base for your team. After that, you can go and actually add your Pokemon. So, we can get into building and stuff in a second. I'm going to focus on the showdown stuff right now. So, for now, I'm just going to add 6 totally busted Pokemon. Whatever. Alright. So I've added my Pokemon. I figured out what team that I want to work with. Well, now it's time to actually set the Pokemon up. So you're gonna see a lot of options here. Maybe this is overwhelming. Maybe this is a bit overwhelming. So you can see the Pokemon I picked. Were you saying something?
No, why don't you just go through, because I think this is a great example of going through how you use Showdown, and why don't you just do a quick I mean, reality, there's like 5 items that you probably should know, and then
Yeah.
the rest I think could be advanced. Maybe just walk through a little bit of what you're seeing here on the screen, and how you'd make some decisions here.
Cool. So first thing I'm looking at is my item. And here every Pokemon gets one item that they can bring into a battle, and they all have different effects. Classic one is the Life Orb, where you just get healing every turn, or the Leftovers, where you just get some healing every turn. It's pretty nice. That's nice, particularly if you've got something you want to be on the field for a while and like switching in and switching out, and it needs some time. It can get you some good healing. Probably an underrated item in this generation is the heavy duty boots. If you were watching the last match, you saw the toxic spikes. But in addition, there are regular spikes, and there's stealth rocks, and there's all kinds of things called entry hazards that inhibit your Pokemon or damage them when they come onto the field. And that can really put a wrench in your game plan, because in competitive Pokemon, you're switching out quite a bit to get the advantage. Heavy duty boots lets you just ignore that. So you're foregoing the benefit of like healing or extra damage or something like that for the ability to just say, I don't need a rapid spinner. I don't need a way to get rid of hazards. I'm just going to ignore them. In our league, you can only do this once per Pokemon. But I would say that I think it should be heavily considered, particularly on Pokemon that are very weak to rocks, because the Stealth Rock move does damage according to a Pokemon's weakness or resistance to rocks. So Moltres, for example, takes 50% if it runs into Stealth Rocks. Heavy Duty Boots is nice on that.
Big ouch.
Yeah, big ouch. I want to pick a Pokemon that has like multiple abilities, actually. Let's go Gliscor. So I'm gonna do Gliscor for all of this, actually. Some more items. If you've the choice items are very interesting. They basically let you, once you pick if you switch a Pokemon in that has a choice item equipped, and you pick a move, you are locked into that move until you switch out. The benefit is that you get a stat increase the entire time you're out that's activated immediately. So, if I've got Gliscor here, for example, and I see the enemy team is just super weak to Earthquake, for example, and say I outspeed everything, I'm not worried about getting hit, or maybe I'm so tanky I don't care, well, I could put the choice band item on this guy, and the choice band item will give me a 1.5 times attack boost, and I'm just locked into the move over and over again. So I could just hit big earthquakes over and over and over again. There's also the Scarf and the Specs. The Scarf is speed, and the Specs is special attack. I think the Scarf's probably the best out of them, because you can take some Pokemon that would normally go second, that are very powerful but just slow, and you can get the jump on people and surprise them. Or Scarf's very dangerous. I'd say 2 more that are like very interesting is the Assault Vest. Assault Vest will boost your special defense by 1.5 times, but you can only do attacking moves. So no Toxic, no Trick, no Thunder Wave, none of that. You just hit Earthquake or your Focus Punch or whatever you want to hit that's damaging. And then Life Orb, which is basically you get a less of a damage boost than the choice items, but a lot of flexibility. So 1.3 times damage boost to all of your moves. That's physical, special, whatever, at the cost of 10% of your HP every single turn. So your Pokemon's probably going to pass out pretty quickly with this, but you could do damage fast, you can be flexible, you're not locked into a move. I had this on Pheromosa on my other team, so that I could do let me just do this really quick. It's great on mixed attackers, right? So if you look at Pheromosa's stats here, we've got 137 base attack, 137 base special attack. That's absolutely crazy. And I already outspeed most things with 151 speed. So with Life Orb, and we'll talk about EV investment. With Life Orb, you get to basically say, hey, I want a big boost to my special attack, but I'm not even gonna put anything in it. I'm still getting a big damage boost. but I could do this, and I could still kill Torterra with an Ice Beam. I could still kill Salamence with an Ice Beam, and that's kind of what it was for. Yeah. Next would be abilities. So every Pokemon has different abilities. Some have a hidden ability. Doesn't really matter if it's an ability or hidden ability. You can pick it. You just need to make sure that it's not banned. Sandvell is a banned move. That's going to be in the Excel document in the rules section. You can check out what is banned there. Typically anything with evasion is going to be banned. But an ability is what can... an ability can make or break a Pokemon. Gliscor has Poison Heal, and it's typically run with the Toxic Orb, which poisons it. So basically, it gets poisoned from the Toxic Orb at the end of its first turn. And then, instead of getting damaged by it, it gets healed by it by 1/8 of its max HP, which is pretty crazy. The side benefit there is that you can't, like, paralyze it or burn it because it's already poisoned, which just makes this a really big wall to take down. That is ability. Next thing that's important here, I'd say there's 3 things that are interesting. Gender's probably the least interesting. It's set to random by default. There's a few things in this game with the attract pseudo status where you can, like, use the move attract on an opposite gendered Pokemon to maybe get it to not move at all. Certain Pokemon have the ability Cute Charm, which can do that, which relies on opposite genders, and the ability Rivalry does like a boost or a weakening based on gender. Other than that, you pretty much don't have to worry about it. Shiny lets you pick if you want a shiny Pokemon or not. That shows up in the UI. That's fun. And then finally, your Terra type. Everybody has their Terra captains that they've already selected. This is how you pick the type of Terra that's going to come to battle with you. So here, maybe I want a water type to resist the ice types that are going to come in and try to exploit my 4 times weakness to ice, right? Next, moves. So you go over to the column here and you've got different moves. They're organized alphabetically with some highly prioritized, like, competitive ones at the top. So if you aren't sure what you're doing, feel free to just kind of check out the top section, which is pretty good. And then if you want to get really creative, start looking down in the bottom section. But that's usually if you've got a very niche scenario you're trying to, like, I'd say there's, like, the more advanced section. If you're going this deep, you should know what you're doing, or you're probably picking something that's, like, suboptimal. Typically, I mean, this all depends on what Pokemon you have. Just remember that if you do a move the same type as your Pokemon, you get a 1.5 times attack boost. That's called a stab, same type attack boost. So, let's see. Earth Power at 90 power is actually doing, 135? Because it is a ground type move, but Aqua Tail will just be 90. And that factors in the whole...
So,
yeah.
Austin, what's the difference between the ones with the yellow and the orange versus the ones with the blue and the circle?
Yeah, so that's there's physical attacks, special attacks, and just kind of utility moves. Physical attacks correspond to your attack stat here, and the opponent's defense stat. Special attacks, in the blue here, correspond to your special attack stat and an opponent's special defense stat. And they both factor against the opponent's HP. So you have to make a calculation there. A Pokemon like Gliscor is not very good at using special attacks because it has 95 base attack and only about half as much special attack. Pheromosa can do a little bit of both. So now you're looking more at, like, what your opponents are doing, or maybe what kind of moves are available. Because, for example, an interesting note here is Gliscor gets Earth Power here, 90 base power. Earthquake, though, is 100. So it's not always equal what options you're going to have available. Certain Pokemon are actually brought down because they have, like, a high attack stat, but no good physical attacks. So you want to get those lined up very well. And this is a good opportunity in team building to take down your opponents and make a game plan. Is like, okay, I see they've got like maybe like most of their Pokemon are very weak to physical attacks, for example. They're like all big on special defense. Well, maybe you bring all of your physical attackers and then bring like 1 or 2 guys to check the specially defensive walls and keep them out of the way. So that's some stuff you want to keep in mind. We can go into moves specifically later, but I'm going to... do you have anything else there, Noah?
No, I think that's good on moves.
Cool, that was a good call, thank you. Next is the stats, and this is where it gets complicated. This is, I think, what separates a lot of, like, when people first think about competitive, they're like, oh my god, EVs, they're so scary. Essentially, you've got a pool of investment points. You get to invest in your Pokemon, and you can figure out where you want to place that. If you go on the internet and you type in, at a very basic level, I'm going to type in Gliscor, and this is the keyword, Smogon. It's going to take you to a place called smogon.com, which is a wonderful place. And you can see specific sets. You can even export them and put them right in Pokemon Showdown. So at a very basic level, if the EV thing, if the moves intimidate you, you can start with like a template here. So I hit export and I got a text copy paste, import export, bang. And now it's all set up for me. The whole thing's set up. And what you can see here is that some of these knobs have moved. So what's happened? Well, we've increased our HP by quite a bit. We put 244 investment points into HP. We put some into defense, and we put a bunch into special defense. And that looks like we get ourselves a very defensive Pokemon. So what is this guy doing? Well, okay, he's bulky, so he lives things. His special defense and his defense and HP are high. And it looks like, oh, he's got Swords Dance. That raises my attack by 2. That's pretty interesting. I've got Knockoff, damage, 1.5 damage if the foe holds an item. So you remove an item. That's neat. Facade, power doubles if the user's burned, poisoned, or paralyzed. So, oh, this has poison. It has a Toxic Orb. I'm going to be poisoned anyways. This always is going to do 140 power damage. That's pretty nice. And then Protect to get essentially 1/4 healing in between turns. So it looks like this thing uses its bulk to take a hit, and Swords dances up to bolster its attack power, and then it hits people with big Swords Dance boosted hits and uses Protect to heal itself. That's a pretty neat set. But I could do a lot with that. Say I wanted Gliscor to be a glass cannon. I just wanted Gliscor to be fast and attack. Well, I could... let me point you to the nature bar here. The nature is a trade-off that you can make in your investment strategy. So you'll notice there's a plus and a minus here, and then there's some with no parentheses at all. So if you pick one of these non-parentheses, you're gonna get no trade-offs. You're just gonna go with whatever the knobs are. But you can influence them by picking one of the ones with a trade-off. So you'll see here that I got a boost to my attack and a weakness in my special attack, and that's happened because I've selected Adamant, which increases attack and lowers special attack. Which makes sense because I wasn't gonna use my special attack anyways, right? So, say I want to make a fast, because I've got 95 speed, that's not bad. So, if I simply want to make a fast attacking Gliscor, I hit the attack knob and I put it the whole way to the top, and I take the speed knob and I take it the whole way to the top, and maybe I pad it with a little HP, and bang, now I've got a physical attacking sweeper. And maybe I get rid of Swords Dance because I'm not very good at taking hits. I'll put Earthquake there for good coverage. And it looks like Facade's not going to be very useful. Well, maybe the opponent's very weak to water attacks. I'll throw Crab Hammer on there. But maybe I keep Protect because I'm still healing a bunch every other turn. And that's kind of neat. Any questions or thoughts from Noah or ga?
No, I
Go.
think. Sorry, that's my son. No, I think this is great. Thanks, Austin, for walking through
One of
that.
the kids wants to chime in.
Thanks, Austin, for
Oh, do we have Alex here now? Yeah, what's up, Alex?
I'm here. I'm just trying to figure out my sound system.
Yeah, take your time. We're just kind of going through showdown. Okay, so I made a team here. Say I did that with all my Pokemon, right? I've made a team. Now I need to validate it. I need to make sure the team is legal in my format. And for this, I'm gonna go back to the Judah one. So National Dex AG, validate. Okay, I'm not breaking the format rules. This is not going to protect you against breaking the rules of the league. So you need to double check against the rules sheet. But this will allow you to get into a battle, because if you do something if you do something illegal for like Pokemon Showdown, it just like won't let you into the fight, and that's going to be annoying right before you get into battle. So you validate. You might want to save it somewhere. You can upload it, so it normally this is just stored like on your browser on your computer. But if you want this to work across multiple computers, hit upload to Showdown database. And then finally, you can just hit upload to PokePaste at the bottom, and you're given this nice little view that you can copy and paste into other people's like other people can copy and paste it and like put it in their Pokemon Showdown if they want to like prep against it. You can save it for later. It's very nice, and there's some cool options here. You can do columns mode. This is where you should take your screenshots to post in the Discord channel to prove what your team looked like for the fight. I definitely recommend doing columns mode because it looks better for everybody. You can also do stat colors just to make that look a little bit neater, and you can do light mode if you're one of those people. Yes.
Okay, I figured it out now.
Cool. So you can store those teams up, you can make folders, all that kind of thing. Okay, now you have your match. It's match time, baby. Well, you gotta take your team and you gotta go get them. So what's the first thing you do? You're gonna wanna type in their name. So let's see. Let me just grab Judah's here because he sent it to me today. Jubby101.
Good old Jubby.
Good old Jubby. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is go to find a user. I'm gonna type in Jubby101. I'm gonna open. Well, I could, normally the option add friend would be here, but I've already done it. And then I can challenge them. That's what you want to do. You want to challenge them. So I'm gonna hit challenge, and here, pay attention to what you're doing. First you need to pick the format, just like before. It's always gonna be National Dex AG for this league. And then you pick your team. Well, I'm gonna pick my Judah team. And then I'm gonna hit the challenge button. And that's what you do there. You challenge them, and then you're gonna wait, and then they'll respond, and then you'll be in the fight, and that's really good.
Austin, we can do a scrim if you want.
Yeah, sure. We're friends on here for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just grab something.
Yeah.
I'll grab something from last week or last season or something.
Cool. Oh, I could grab something from last season. That'd be fun. What do I have sitting around? Do I have a versus Alex here and there? This is not the right computer for this. I have a versus Luke team. I don't know what this does, but I'll pick it. I'm gonna go ahead and challenge Alex now because it's time for a weekly match. I'm gonna wait very patiently, not pester them.
Good, because I have to switch.
There you go. Am I caught up with everything in the chats? Need to keep an eye out. Yes, it looks.
I guess I should probably look at your stream.
You can.
I have closed your stream.
Okay. Also, if anybody has any questions, feel free to interrupt, and we'll talk about them right now. I do I am gonna hop on an Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire draft match at 7:30, but we have until then.
My match will be at 8:30.
Okay, 8:30. Okay, I don't know if I will stream that long or not. We'll feel it out.
That's totally fine.
All right.
Lots of Pokemans here.
Yeah. So is our goal here to kind of talk through like how we're battling and like what we're thinking?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Cool. So, first,
how about before you do any of that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna make my plays prior to you talking, and then I'll tell you I've made my decision, and then you can talk through your play, and I will not make any decisions as a reaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've already made my.
Okay.
So I've already chosen my lead. Go ahead and start and talk through however you want to do it.
Okay. First question here. I see this timer button. Alex, should I click the timer before I get started with my battle?
You do not have to. Our league currently does not enforce any timer rules. That being said, if we discover players are taking exorbitant amount of time to take their turns, we might consider making an amendment to allowing the timers to be used. I personally enjoy the timers because I don't think it takes that long to make these kind of decisions, and it frustrates me when people take 30 minutes to make one choice. I don't think we have anybody like that in this league currently, so I don't. There's no current rule for enforcing the timers. But if you were to click it, it would enforce it. It would enforce it in the app, not necessarily within our league rules.
Cool. Thank you. All right. So what am I seeing? I'm seeing an Articuno, Landorus. Pretty well balanced team here. We've got this Ferrothorn in the back. That's going to be hard to break through. Looks like maybe a special attacking assault might be my way to get this done. Gouging Fire also looks good because I can finish off the Ferrothorn with the fire attack since it's pretty weak. So I'm going to be looking. My condition here for winning, my plan to win is going to be take down the barriers that stop Gouging Fires from just going to town. And what would that be? That would be probably Landorus would be a big problem. Like a Focus Sash Glamora could get a big hit off on me. Jolteon's faster, so it can kind of pick me off before Dragon Dance. So maybe I want to lead with something that gives me good momentum into that. What am I doing with a Swords Dance Iron Valiant? What are you probably going to lead with? Probably Jolteon to get some momentum. Or no. Oh, I'm going to play it safe here. I've got a Focus Sash Pokemon, so I'm guaranteed to live one hit. I'm going to use this Focus Sash to try and get off a Swords Dance, since I'm a pretty fast guy, and then do big damage to everything that's coming in. Starting off against Landorus Therian. I'm hovering over both Pokemon, and I can see an estimation of the stats. If I had Show Dex, it would be... Oh, it's doing it in both. Give me a second here. Give me a second here, right now. I can just switch windows to not... Oh, that's a mistake. Give me a second. There we go. Okay. So I've also got Show Dex here, so I can see an estimation of like what'll happen if I do specific things. Looks like we might have a physical wall here, and I'm a little bit weakened from the Intimidate, so maybe I don't want to stay in here. Maybe this isn't a good situation. So let's say I want to find a more favorable situation. I'm gonna go into a physical wall to handle his maybe physical attack. And I get to avoid the earthquake, which is nice. And depending on the item, which I don't know yet, maybe he's locked into earthquake. Maybe he's got a choice scarf, right? And then I would be in a pretty good position where I can do some stuff. Now, I don't want to just... I could autonomize to raise my speed here, but I don't know if I like that yet. I'm not ready to go for a sweep, because I have problems dealing with Ogerpon Hearthflame, I have problems dealing with Ferrothorn. both which are pretty likely to come in. I think I want to make a mid-ground play here and assume he's getting out because this isn't a good situation for Landorus. So
we're demoing a battle tutorial for people. What's that?
So I'm going to get out into Galvantula. Well, who might he switch into? Maybe Ferrothorn or Ogrepon Hearthflame. Who do I like into that? Probably Gouging Fire, but I don't want to use that yet. I'm going to go... Wow, this team does not match up very well. I'm going to go Galvantula because it's a little expendable, and I could probably get out... Oh, it hits me with the big knockoff, predicting a switch, or maybe just trying to get rid of Celesteel's item because maybe that's a big barrier for Alex's team. I see in front of me a dangerous Landorus Therian, and my Terra Captain is Galvantula. So I'm going to make a big move here and try to get a 4x Ice Terra Blast off. Maybe I'll be lucky. I might switch into something else. But for the most part, I outspeed the rest of the team, so that is okay. I guess I wouldn't appreciate an Ogrepon Hearthflame switch here. Or the Jolteon switch isn't great. I do get some good damage off against the fast Pokemon. And now we're facing this fast Jolteon that will probably kill me with the next move. I'd anticipate maybe a Volt Switch or something. But I don't know if I want to lose this yet because this Pokemon's fast and I can deal with Landorus. So I think I'm going to switch again. I've got Kyurem in place to handle special threats with the Assault Vest. I'm a little worried about a Alluring Voice, which Showdex is telling me about, but I think I can check and see what that interaction would look like if I just click up here. Well, looks like it's still a 3-hit KO, so I feel kind of safe going into Kyurem. Volt Switch is out and is going to get some momentum, but it didn't cost me too much. You couldn't see that, I apologize. Alrighty. So we'll see what Alex does here. A lot of switching. That's normal in Pokemon. Sometimes you. Yeah.
Awesome. You mind if I say something while you guys are playing?
Absolutely.
So, for anybody who's new is watching, and you might be like, "Wow, it's a lot going on," and it really is, and it really shows a lot of Pokemon. If any of you guys are new, I guess they call it the skill cap of this game is pretty big, right? The understanding of when to switch and who to switch into and why you should switch, and the differences between a good switch and a bad switch can be very small. And so one of the things that I would encourage you as a new player, if you are new to the game, is switching is important. And if it's a really bad matchup, I would switch. But if you don't have a really good reason to switch, switching for no reason can be a really bad decision. So I think, and you guys are playing your games, playing random battles or scrims will help you understand what good and bad switches are. It's hard to simulate those just kind of out loud, but think about that when you're playing. Sometimes a guy dying is okay, right? Sometimes the guy has done its role, and so just letting him die is more important than trying to switch into something and have something take a free hit that might throw your whole team for a loop. So switching is a really, really, really powerful tool, but also can get you in a lot of trouble if you switch too often or make bad switches or switch for no good reason. So be aware of that. And I'm really, the only way to get good at it is just to practice and play different matchups and understand what people are going to do, what they're trying to do, what are you trying to do, and that really just comes from experience and practice. So think about this year. That's when you're playing your games. That's a good way to be thinking about how you can get better, is really better understanding of what is the other guy trying to do, and being able to good predictions is a pretty powerful tool in your tool belt.
Very well said. Yeah, it just kind of comes with experience, doesn't it? And sometimes you get it wrong when you make the quote right play, because we're all people and we're playing this game differently. And we're doing the best we can, but we all have different ideas.
And you'll find it interesting. I think it's actually kind of funny when you play. A really good example we saw today was when Judah used Bullet Seed. Nothing in the definitions of what Torterra should have been doing there would have been Bullet Seed, right? So sometimes you can have a lot of tools and read the strategies, and sometimes you're playing other players who are kind of new and they just make decisions that maybe aren't by the book sometimes. And that's just going to be kind of the nature of this league, right? That part of the draft league is that it's trying its best to not just be straight by the book. So a lot of the Smogon stuff is really helpful. It's also built around very specific meta games for people who are going to be playing very specific meta moves and types. And this league is not meta per se, right? I mean, people are going to be doing lots of random things. You have fast ranging different levels of power of Pokemon and tiers and skilled players. So Smogon's a really good tool to help you know what to do and give you a baseline, but don't expect everyone in our league to act exactly how Smogon would tell you they're going to act.
No tax on overtime. You're just on the
Yeah, it's a great call. I mean, so Judah used Bullet Seed instead of like a Shell Smash, and you might be like, well, he just said that's not like optimal. That's not what people do. But I had prepped a Mew specifically to handle Shell Smash. So in doing so, he essentially wasted all the other things my Mew could do. So being creative is super, super cool.
Yeah.
This guy's troublesome. That works. Oh. I'm gonna protect. Oh, I'm not even touching it. Not even touching it. Am I ready to go for it? I don't think I'm ready to go for it yet. What am I doing with... What am I doing with Samrock? I don't know. Okay, I got seeded. Okay, this thing probably has protect. Let's find out if it has protect. Either way, I'm okay with getting a Seedless Edge off just to allow Celesteela maybe kill the Ogerpon in one hit later. I know this Articuno doesn't have a Focus Sash. What do I want to do? I outspeed it in every scenario, so that's pretty good. I think I'm going to go for the Gouging Fire. I'm going to go right for it. I've got an attack boost. Not really afraid of everything. Nothing likes taking a Flare Blitz, so I think I just hit the Flare Blitz button a couple times. Okay, so he tries to stall me out a little bit. Take Toxic Spikes damage. Does he switch out? This is my win condition. I think I need it in order to beat Parathorn, so I'm actually gonna switch out here, thinking he's going to switch out. Yes. So now, looks like I might... Well, I'm in a pickle here, aren't I? Because it probably outspeeds me. But there's not a ton I can do about it. Actually, I probably shouldn't have switched out there, but oh well. If I'm lucky here, I can make something happen with Hirem. I think I do live a thing, so that's important. And Freeze Dry looks good against the whole team. I'm gonna go ahead and just Ice Beam. Ice Beam hits everything pretty good. Hirem's a beast. Articuno comes in. Takes about 40. This is his Terra Captain, so there should be some shenanigans. I don't know if there's... I'm gonna predict a Terra Steel out of nowhere here. That's my guess. I feel like there's Terra Steel in this. It would go well with the Ice Flying typing. I outspeed. That surprised me. And this ain't a good situation. Okay, I'm gonna Ice Beam. do some damage. Ancient Power comes on. Get the boost. Holy crap.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
That's okay.
That's not what you want to see.
No, that's pretty low chance of happening. I get Ancient Powered. Now what do? We pretty much Dragon Dance and try and win. We know we outspeed after a single Dragon Dance, so that's what we need. Air Slash, 50%. I've flinched, I've lost. Good game. Now I say, things haven't gone well, the game is over. I will wait until the end of the game. And then I will say, in the chat, I will pull it up so you can see. All it takes is just say a simple GG. If you add stuff around it, it can be perceived as like arrogant or maybe like too defeated or anything like that. If you want to play it safe, just say GG, folks. Alright, so thank you for that.
Win,
Say it again.
it's a huge win, Alex. Congratulations.
Big win.
I got lucky with that Ancient Power. If that Ancient Power didn't proc, I probably lost that.
Hey, it's always a possibility. So now I've finished the match and I've lost. Well, that's pretty sad, but I've still got a job to do. I'm gonna upload and share my replay, which gives me a link to the replay. I'm gonna copy here, and that's gonna put it on my one. It's gonna upload it to my replays section in Showdown. It's also gonna put it on my clipboard. I'm gonna go to Discord after that. I hope it's already signed in. That would be really good. Then I'm gonna go to the league, and I'm going to go to the week 1 results, and I'm gonna say Alex. What was that? I'm gonna check how many kills and how many losses. 3-0.
3-0.
Alex. 3-0. Austin. I'm gonna post the link, and I'm gonna send it in this channel. And then I'm gonna go to that Poke Paste I made earlier in the team builder. I think that was versus Luke. I'm gonna hit upload to Poke Paste. I'm going to use a screenshot tool. Get a screenshot of this, grab the link so people can practice against the team. I'm gonna drop that in team sheets, just like this. And you did it. You did your first week of the PPML Draft League. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
That's
Just in time for you to go into your other match.
There you go. Yeah, I got a little bit of time. Do you guys have anything else before that? Before I do a matchup preview?
I don't have anything else. I mean, did we talk about how the league goes over the MVP and that kind of stuff at all?
No, we could do that really quick. Do you, as the commissioner, do you want to speak on such a thing?
I can speak on such a thing. Are you able to share that tab in the chat?
Yeah,
I stopped watching you stream. I gotta get back on it so I actually see what you're looking at.
Yeah, I gotta switch windows to get into a window that has the right. I got like 3 Chrome profiles, and 2 of them have access to your draft doc, and I haven't requested it on the 3rd. All right, here we go. Full screen game, Chrome, PPM Draft League Season 5. Okay, so I've got the doc up. What would you like to see?
Pull up the MVP race. I think that's the easiest thing to start on.
All right. I'm gonna go to MVP race here in the corner. Sorry for the poor quality. There we go. MVP race, and look what we've got here.
Right now, we'll need to upload our latest match, which was you versus Judah. I will be working on that here in a little bit. But as we can see currently, the #1 MVP Pokemon of the 2025 winter season is currently Spectrain, which was a Pokemon that underperformed last season. But Caleb successfully used it as an excellent sweeper earlier this week to wrap up his game, scoring 3 kills with 0 deaths. The way this is ranked here, the most valuable Pokemon of the league would be by your differential first, second by kill, and then I think 3rd by death. So you can see those 4 columns there. You have the games, the number of times that Pokemon's been brought, number of kills, number of deaths, and what the differential, which is your kills minus your deaths. Pretty straightforward. That's how you'll determine where your Pokemon lies on that MVP chart. Last season, we saw a couple Pokemon get multiple 6-0 sweeps, and that put them way out in front. So be very mindful as you head into the season, guys. Don't underestimate certain single Pokemon. There are Pokemon in this league that are very capable of winning the whole game by themselves if you let them get off a Dragon Dance or a Swords Dance and they have a priority move, or you don't have an answer for them on the team. Like, for example, last season we had, I think, Dracovish was our MVP last season, and he was very capable of sweeping teams due to his phenomenal stacking power of his Fiendish Rend attack, which
due to math.
Yeah, due to math is a disgustingly powerful attack. And so the trick to beat it, which not very many people picked out, was have something faster than it, and turn off the rain. Those are your two steps. Because it got a power boost, a pretty significant one, if it attacked first with this specific attack. And all the person using it did was put Choice Scarf on it, so it was faster than 95% of Pokemon that don't have Choice Scarf on them. And let the rain go up with his Politoed, so that the attack was further increased in damage, and it was just one-tapping everything.
You just hit the button.
You just hit the button, and if your opponent doesn't have a Focus Sash or something that quad resists it, it dies. So those are your options. So I cannot stress the importance of preparation enough. Take the time to look at your opponent's team. Take the time to recognize where their threats are and where their walls are. Take the time to review the past games that the people have played in this league. That is the reason they are on the dock. We can actually show that next here, Austin. If you go to the bottom, you can find the replays and team sheet tab. But I've actually added some extra spice to it.
Replays and team sheet.
Replays and team sheet. So you'll see here on this sheet, there are only a couple games that have been registered so far. You'll see them in blue. This is a master sheet that has all of the replays of every match that will take place in this season, and the team sheets of every player that they brought to that specific week. So if you were to go click on my brother's name, on Matt's name, on that on column D, it should open up a link to his team sheet.
Content is
Maybe
no
not.
longer available.
Oh, that's
I tried
good.
Doug's.
They might not work. They're copied links from the Discord.
The idea is pretty cool, though.
Mine loads on my screen, so I wonder if it's a.
Okay, I could try it with another account later as well.
I wonder if you're not on the Discord that you have access to the link, that might be the issue.
This is my one where I have like admin access.
No, your Discord, not your
Oh,
not
Discord.
your.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. This is not the computer I'm normally on. It's just for this is mostly
yeah.
streaming, not
Because I'm
streaming.
taking you to a link of the image that is saved inside Discord. I don't have a better place to host that link.
Okay.
We might have to find another workaround for that. The team sheets is a new idea I was trying to implement here.
I think it's great.
For the replay should work.
Got it.
No problem. We might need to finagle, because I was sort of, I could save the image in there, but it was tiny, and I don't want to have to make this chart.
Yeah, it's not super effective.
So, yeah. But anyway, this is a great resource. Also, if you wanted to take a look at the performance of yourself or the other players in the league, there are standing tabs on the bottom of this sheet. You can check the overall standings. And you can also check, like currently Doug is the overall first place, but that's just as a result of the number of games that he played. And you can also check your specific league where you're standing, whether you're in the Johto or the Kanto league. And you'll notice the top 7 players are the people that are in playoff position currently. And then last but not least, you have the scorecard tab, which is probably the most information dense tab you can look at.
Yeah.
For terms of prep, it shows the entirety of your opponent's teams and everybody else's stuff. That Pokemon has 4 Terra Captains. That person, it's you. You have 4 Terra Captains.
That's right. They're
Wild.
I've 14 points worth of low tier guys, and then
So it's the same.
yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? If it works, it works.
I think it'll work out well. I did Swellow in the Phil League, and it really popped off. Responding to Jiggly Kong in the chat, I did no worries. I did one of my matches so far. I won the one in this league 3-0. I'll post the link to that in the Discord along with an update. And any minute now, I'll be getting a challenge from 6 Roggenrolas in the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire Cup 3 for Draft League, and we'll be having that matchup. But they haven't reached out yet, so we can keep going.
Okay. So you'll see here, Austin's a perfect example. This is pretty much a summary of everything that's going on with this player so far in this league. They'll have your week 1 score, which I'll go input real quick and it should populate for you.
Thanks.
You won 3-0, I believe, was correct.
Yeah.
So that's a W.
So another thing this is nice for is you're gonna see as this populates, and I'll even go over to Caleb here. So we have a requirement here that every single Pokemon must be brought to at least 3 regular season matches, or you basically forfeit a chance to be in the playoffs. When I want to find out who I've brought and who I haven't brought, I come here and I look at the GP column. So Caleb might want to consider bringing Shaman or Galarian Zapdos to a couple more matches because it's a little behind. And say I'm at the end of the season and my opponent hasn't brought something to all of to 3 matches this season yet, they have to bring it to my match, for example. So you can keep an eye on that, and that can be useful.
All right. So I guess it hasn't. Oh yeah, your score is updated.
Yep.
The same will be done for your Pokemon. Did you have a Pokemon that swept in that game?
I know Raging
haven't
Bolt
looked.
got at least 3 kills and no deaths.
Okay. Where are
I could probably check really quick. Too many tabs open to do that right.
I mean, just for the sake of this, you said 3 kills, 0 deaths. I will double check it before I make this finalized.
Yeah.
But you should see here in a second when that
Yep, here we go.
Yeah, so you can see how well a Pokemon is scoring. That will be a sum total of how well they're doing, much like the previous tab.
Yep.
And you can see which one of their Pokemon seems to be getting the most kills, which Pokemon seems to die very frequently. The whole 9 yards, right?
Maybe they bring a Pokemon every single week.
Yeah, if there's a Pokemon that you've seen every single week, you should expect to see it again. It's probably, especially if it seems to be their sweeper, their MVP, their guy that they're always going to close out games or open up games and put your opponents so far behind that they have a hard time catching up.
Yep.
Whatever the case may be. So, but this is just a great tab to look over. You also can see everybody's schedule, who they played against, who they struggle against. So if like you're going to prep against Austin in week 8, you can go look at the previous 7 people he played against, see how well he beat and who he lost to, and then go look at the replays to see what was the key to success and what led to failure versus him.
Yeah.
So now that being said, you don't have to put this level of effort in. This is just something you can do. If you're just here to play casually and have a good time, this league's good for that. The whole point of this league is to shake up the meta, make things work that typically don't work, and kind of force some creativity. Because with not everybody being able to bring the same 6 Pokemon, you're not going to see a Zamazenta in every game, or a Rory Moon, or a Goldango. So it's a good change of pace, in my opinion.
Definitely.
But if you have any further questions and you're part of our league, feel free to reach out on Discord to myself, Austin, or Noah anytime, and we'll get back to you when we can.
Yep.
That's our whole job as the admins and commissioners. We want to make sure everybody understands what's going on and is having a good time.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you for that. My guy hasn't reached out to me yet, so if you have anything else, otherwise I'll probably go into the matchup.
You should go into the matchup. Take it away. Give an example of how you prep.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna need to pull. I hope I have everything I can pull up. All right, we're going to switch tabs again. Oh, I've closed out my YouTube with my free copyright lo-fi. What a disaster. It happens. There we go.
Travesty.
Okay. So what have we got? So this is for the Draft League World circuit. So essentially over the course of the year, there are going to be several Draft League tournaments which work in a slightly different format from what we do, because you can face Pokemon that have, or teams that have like the same Pokemon as you, for example. Discord. There we go. So check out this little picture right here. You can see Oras 3. It's the beginning of the year, and the green, the yellow, and the red tournaments have a point value, and depending on how you do, you get a higher amount of points when you finish the tournament. If you get enough points, you get to go to the Draft League World Cup. That's how it works. So I'm in Oras 3 trying to earn points to go to the Draft League World Cup in the beginning of 2025. That's the setup. Now, how did we, and I'm going to check Showdown periodically, how did we get there? How did we get to today? Well, we did a draft, right? With let me go to pull. Okay, I think they closed this. Oh no, here we go. It's loading up. There were a ton of mini drafts just like this, and this is for Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. A ton of mini drafts, and you got assigned a random order, and you got to draft with people with the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire draft board. So you can see, anybody familiar with Alex's board with Scarlet Violet Nat decks, it's huge. This is much more limited, right? And things you would normally see lower a lot higher here, like Manaphy, for example. So built a team for this. My general philosophy in draft is the guys at the bottom and in the middle, you know, you can do stuff with them, but typically the stuff at the top is at the top for a reason. If I can make it to the playoffs with like a very strong team, I'm in good shape. So that's what I did here. I grabbed some top heavy Pokemon that synchronized well together. I've got a Landorus Incarnate, which is it's got sheer force plus life orb for like a huge boost to damage on already good speed and special attack. So that's going to be my primary way to break through teams and maybe let my other Pokemon set up and go to town. I've got a Rotom Wash as a nice pivot working with Landorus. The ice type attacks that I'm very afraid of, I can just switch into Rotom Wash for, and then I can slow Volt Turn out to another Pokemon to get some momentum. I've got Mega Lopunny here for speed control. Speed is very big in Draft League. If you have faster Pokemon than your opponent, you're in a place of power. You don't have to put on Choice Scarf in order to outspeed your opponent's unchoice scarfed Pokemon. Mega Lopunny is 135 base speed, which is incredibly fast. It outspeeds some Choice Scarfers that are even a little bit below the base 100 speed tier, probably in the 80s. I think you could outspeed a couple 80s. It also has Fake Out for priority, which is boosted by its stab and crazy attack stat, and it's just fast and a good physical attacker. I got Jirachi as kind of type coverage here, also to level out the ice weakness. Just some good utility. Roll compression is what it's called, is really big in Draft League, and that is your Pokemon's ability to have like basically different sets each week and accomplish different things. Jirachi's got a million moves and has like very balanced stats, so you could make it a Choice Scarfed Iron Head Flincher one week and a Stealth Rock Thunder Waver the next that heals somebody back up. That's why I picked Jirachi. Steel Psychic, pretty good typing. Knockoff isn't everywhere yet, so Psychic's still viable. Then I picked Latios because I saw it on the board and I wanted to keep the pressure up. Very good speed tier. A fast, heavy special attacker with big Draco Meteors. I've got Jirachi to take care of the fairies that would normally scare Latios. Doubling up a little bit on the Psychic, but again, we've got Mega Lopunny to deal with like the dark types, for example. And then finally, because I was low on points, I grabbed Galvantula, who is also pretty fast. I can set up Sticky Web to take, so anybody who's like trying to choice Scarf to take out Mega Lopunny, maybe I can slow down with the webs. I can Thunderwave. I think Thunderwave is disgustingly good. I think Paralysis is a nasty and powerful strategy. Taking out a third of your opponent's turns is incredibly effective. And then what am I doing with these other guys? Do I expect to bring Pavilion and Shedinja to a bunch of matches? Absolutely not. But what it does do is it forces my opponents to at least consider that they might be coming. If I send Pavilion out there and, or Vivillon, I guess it's not Pavilion, it's Vivillon. And I get a Compound Eyes, Sleep Powder off, and then start Quiver Dancing, they're in pretty bad shape. And it only does that one thing, but they need to spend their team prep, like preparing for that. And Shedinja's another good one, right? It can only be hit by certain moves, so if I switch that in at the end of a game against a Pokemon that can't do anything against it, I could switch it in on a Kyogre with Ice Beam, Thunder, Surf, and Water Spout, and it could do nothing, absolutely nothing to hurt me, and I would win with a Shedinja that's 1 point. So they have to prep, and maybe they bring moves they wouldn't bring against the rest of my team, and that's kind of the thought there. Where is this guy? Do I have the time right? Did I perhaps pick the time wrong? Maybe that's what's going on. Friday, no. Okay, Wednesday, January 22nd at 7:30 p.m. I've got the timestamp. I have the timestamp. I confirmed it's set up. If we go long enough, we'll poke into Alex and Steve's game. Yeah, so that's that. And then after the draft, we got sorted into battle pools. I'll pull that up here. And here, pools board. Here you can see who you're playing against. The first thing you need to do in this league to achieve success is to get to, you need to get through pools. So you need to, you can see I'm right here in pool 63. I need to win 2 out of 3 of these matches in order to progress to the main tournament. So that's my goal. You can see I'm up against 6 Roggenrollas here. I've also got matches scheduled against Funnel and Callum. And I've got 3 teams prepped for that. So how did I kind of focus here? Against 6 Roggenrollas, who I scheduled against. Let's take a look. So I'm gonna flip back and forth here. Apologies if it's a little jarring. So what am I seeing here? I'm seeing, all right, some strong, physically defensive Pokemon. Skuntank, Intimidate Gyarados, Tangrowth, Mega Scizor, Garchomp. They can all take a hit and they kind of punish you for physical attacks. So maybe I go and try to win the game using special attacks primarily. I know Tornado Therion's a threat, but that's like one specific one. I've got a Discord message, I believe. Maybe that's in the...
Yeah, that's another game coming up. Looks like Luke and Alex just played their other game.
Oh, sick.
Luke takes it 3-0.
Whoa, big Luke. Playoff, nothing...
He's coming back. He wants revenge for his last his last outing.
What a blessing. Maybe we'll...
Okay, you started. Oh no, you didn't. The defending champ started with a pretty decisive win, so
yeah. Hey.
We'll see how that plays out.
We will. Yeah, so I was looking for a special angle to get through this match. So what am I trying to do here? The big ways I want to win are primarily with Landorus and this Choice Specs Latios. I outspeed a lot of their team with Latios, which I noticed, and I've got Sticky Web to help with that. I have 3 moves that cover pretty much everything. Especially if I get rid of the Sylveon, Draco Meteor's free, but Ice Beam handles Garchomp pretty well, and Psychic handles everything else. And then I always have Landorus as well, who does big. If I get a Pokemon I think they're gonna switch out on me, if I switch Landorus in, I'll just substitute and get an opportunity here to get off a big attack. Like, everything gets hit by something here. In between that, I have some Pokemon to enable those guys to go to town. One is this Jirachi with Iron Head, Wish, U-Turn, and Stealth Rock. I flinch out guys I don't like. I pass Wishes to heal my special attackers up. I set up Stealth Rock to punish their switching, and I U-turn to get my own momentum. Lopunny I didn't exactly know what to do with, but it was too good not to bring. So what I did is, basically, I've got it for big fake outs, and also just high speed, and Healing Wish will let me fully recover like Lando or Latios if I need it. Rotom's the pivot. Will-O-Wisp will let me burn those big physical walls or physical attackers that are trying to break through me. So this big time physical wall, I can heal up. If they switch in like a special threat to take it on, I can Pain Split and heal up. And then finally I've got Galvantula, who's there to Thunder Wave and Sticky Web and survive a hit in an emergency and paralyze. Hidden Power Ice to take down the Garchomp. Hidden Power is not legal in Alex's league, by the way, in the PPML.
Yeah, don't make that mistake.
Yeah, don't make that mistake. But it is here in this other league.
Yeah, you don't need a second spicy move.
That's right. That's way too spicy. Everybody can't have perfect coverage. That would be terrible. Justice for Hidden Power. Bring back Hidden Power. Boo. It's a nightmare to prep for, though. Even though it's a weak move, just like it brings down the value of 4 times weak Pokemon a lot. So that's my prep for this match. Waiting for the guy to answer me. Ready whenever. Why don't we watch this match that just happened? Let's take a look and see what's... Luke 5-0, Alex. Whoa, what is going on
I
here?
didn't see it that bad.
Whoa.
All right, hold on. Don't start this. I actually want to watch this with you and commentate. We can walk through it and commentate together.
Let's do it.
I was in the middle of doing that for your match and recording the data, but I can pause that and do this real quick, no problem.
Yeah.
Give me a hot second. Insert the link.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. I didn't realize what Luke drafted.
Yeah, Luke has a good squad.
Dude, he scooped up the electric terrain. Oh my god. The future.
Yep,
Future!
He has the power of anime and future on his side.
Oh my gosh. Luke, what a schemer. Dude, Luke was the one that started not having played like Pokemon before and went to the playoffs last year, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
What a monster.
That's pretty close to it.
And Blacephalon, that's crazy. This is so dangerous.
Yeah, his team is something else.
Yeah, wow.
To say the least. All right, all that there. Let me go ahead and get the Pokemon inputted, and we can get on it real quick. All right, so Luke has Pinsir's to set up the electric terrain.
He's got Pincurchin, Ival, one of the scariest Pokemon in the entire draft. You don't know if it's physical, you don't know if it's special, you don't know if it's a mixed attacker.
Iron Boulder is also just a massive threat.
Boulder's fast, too.
Boulder's fast, and he hits like a truck, and his coverage is crazy.
Not only that, but with the electric terrain, nobody even needs to bring... You could bring a booster energy, but you don't necessarily need to, because you have electric terrain. So these guys are all going to have a big boosted stat at the beginning as well. You've got...
That will be there will be one thing that Luke might need to watch out for later in the league.
Yeah.
Is if somebody has another terrain setter, they could potentially really nerf his team because he won't be bringing booster energies, or he won't have enough because you can only bring one.
Yep.
So he won't be able to properly have his whole squad running.
Yep.
If somebody finds a counter for that.
Yeah, I gotta watch out for the Rillabooms of the world, or the rare, I don't know, Galarian Wheezing.
There's seafood. That should be Rapid Strike, right?
Yeah, I think, I want to say this is Single Strike. I think I've played this in,
Dark one.
scrims.
The dark one.
Yeah, it's Single Strike.
Single Strike?
Yep. Single Strike. So yeah, what do you, and then on the other team, we've got, Zygarde. That could be a quick Dragon Dance to go to town. You've got Bisharp in the back for Sucker Punch security. A nice pivot and Galarian Slow King. I'm just giving you a space if you want to say anything.
Yeah, the Azumarill Belly Drum Aqua Jet is also a legitimate threat if let to do its thing. But
Yeah.
Azumarill by itself is just a problem Pokemon. Even if he doesn't get the huge power Belly Drum off, it can do a lot of stuff. It's got a very good moveset. The huge power is a fantastic move that opens up plenty of plays for him.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see. I mean, we know the result does not go well for Mr. Foster, but
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how it plays off. So I if you want to let it run, let's let it run.
I think if I'm Alex here, I'm playing the game intending to get a Dragon Dance off with Zygarde, and there's no ground resist on the entire other team, and half the teams.
I almost start with that because you know he's bringing in the Pincurchin to start to get
like
the brain up. Yeah, it's free here.
Unless it's Terra Ice or something, maybe. Pincurchin's probably a Terra captain. That would be super scary. But you'd be prepped for that before you went into battle.
That would be it is not one. Oh, sorry, that's I'm looking at his. I need to find Luke's. Where's Luke's? He is, but he does not have the Ice Terror. He's Dark Flying Electric. So he could, in theory, dodge the Earth attacks with Terra Flying, but that still doesn't
What are
threaten
you
the
gonna do
Zygarde.
with it? Yeah, you're not gonna make any progress.
So you stay in with that all day. I'll just keep clicking Dragon Dance to make sure I one tap.
Actually, 1,000 arrows, Zygarde still hits you. Still hits a flying type.
Gross.
All right, let's get this playing. I'm gonna go sound off. I've got it on slow, so I can speed it up if I need. Starts with the Azumarill against the Swampert. Not what I expected.
Yeah, that was an interesting decision. I'm curious if that's what we start to see the downfall up front. All right, so we see a Charm out of the Azumarill.
Well, put Swampert in a bad position. Switch out. What's he gonna do with this opportunity?
This should be the Belly Drum.
Big
No,
time.
Charm again. Okay.
Well, Pincurchin doesn't care about that, does it?
No, not one bit. Pincurchin's doing its job right here. Rising Voltage? Yeah.
That's big damage.
Oh yeah.
Hey, good Sludge Bomb back. You had to switch
sure.
out there. You really had to switch out there. Oh, I guess you couldn't.
Yeah.
You Sludge Bombed. Yeah, this was the switch earlier, for sure.
This is what should have been in up front, and this should be a Dragon Man. Nope, 1,000 arrows. Okay, well it still hits like a truck.
This is the big mistake. You gotta save the Zygarde. You gotta save it. You've got other things you could sack. Bring in Grievard. Oh, don't bring in Bisharp. You're gonna get Earthquake.
Pause that for a second. Pause. The Sucker Punch good. That's his one kill of the game, right?
Yeah, I guess
he gets
so.
the Swampert. Can you pause it real quick?
Yeah,
I gotta tag up some. So Swampert got the kill on the Zygarde, and the Galarian Slowking got thumped by the Pinsirisu. Swampert did take an L. Right after that, there's no more deaths on Luke's team, unfortunately for Alex. All right, and then That actually makes the stats really easy for Alex because he doesn't get any more kills.
Yep.
All right, I just have to pay attention to who kills what now.
There you go. All right, you ready?
All right, Iron Hands is up and running. Let's see it.
All right.
Iron Hands into Bisharp.
You got the attack boost.
Yeah, that's not good for the Bisharp.
Thunder Punch. Is that banded? Houndstone's chunky. Physically.
Yeah, but I mean, the Iron Hands did not care. It got there.
Yeah.
2 hits and it's done.
I wonder what it is.
I would expect a the boy switch. Oh, he didn't even switch. He
Okay.
just left it.
That's not banded. It would have killed.
Yeah.
Although this is like a bulky Azumarill, it looks like. Otherwise,
Yeah, he definitely went into a very stall style Azumarill, very like almost Clefable-esque fairy,
yeah.
bulky water fairy type.
I mean, it is a good defensive typing.
For sure,
Oh.
for sure. Drain Punch. That's not good for the Urshifu.
Oh, that's gonna be the Drain Punch
And
this
he
century.
switched it out. No, he could have probably won. I think he could have finished the Iron Hands there.
And that's gonna be resisted, right? Yeah.
Oh, he's still Sucker Punches. Now he's not gonna get there.
I don't think you can be relying on Bisharp for your offense.
Even at this point, this Iron Hands is a massive problem for you just because you can't kill it.
Yep.
Oh, okay. The Draining Punch was good there.
Lives. That's a big live.
Yeah. Well, I did expect it to live. I did because of the half attack on the Iron Hands.
That's true.
I did not expect the Iron Hands to survive that second time, but here we are.
Yeah, unbelievably chunky.
Iron Hands just comes through. I think Iron Hands picks up the other 4. Am I reading that right?
I think so. Oh, that's big. Big for Iron Hands.
Iron
Surprise, the Paradox Pokemon are making it happen.
Yeah, I know. I was going back and forth in my head about whether we should allow the Paradox Pokemon around.
Yeah.
But like, you have the problem. If you ban them, something else just takes their place as the kings of the draft. And like, so at least the Paradox Pokemon, they require some setup, and the majority of them that are actually seriously problematic are high point values. So like,
yeah. And that is where the item clause really comes in clutch, right? Because you can't have booster energy all over the place, for example.
Not that Luke needs it. If he's got the Terrain Ascender with the Perchurging, he just sits there and doesn't care.
Yep. So people are
Unless
gonna have to
somebody
figure
can
that one
one
out.
tap that. Yeah, somebody's gonna have to pick off the Urchin
Yeah,
in order to not have to worry about that.
we're gonna have some random like psychic terrain setters with like terrain extender. Just like
see Indeedee. Indeedee has that, I think.
There you go. Little size spam.
Yeah. Indeedee, and then I think all the Tapus have terrains too, right?
Yep.
All
right.
So I can see that happening later in the season.
Yep.
All right, that match is said and done.
Match is done. I hope this guy gets back to me. I don't know. I have. Let's see. All right. Anything else you wanted to talk about on here, Alex?
No, I think I wish we had some more of our new players in this chat. There looks like they're all down in the gaming tab.
They could together.
Oh, let me pop down real quick and see what's up.
All right. Well, guys, big first victory. How about that? We're ding dang 1-0. That's so big. I'm excited about that. It's the mouse hold is super scary, and we have triumphed. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the sheet. I want to see the stats on that match. I don't know how many kills I got with Raging Bolt. What do we get? 3-0 with Raging Bolt.
Hello.
Hey. What's going on, gang?
Like the gang's all here.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying to get Twitch open at the moment.
Yeah. Congrats on a big win, Luke.
Thank you.
That's I didn't realize you had drafted the electric terrain forget booster energy team.
Yeah, no, I ran it back. I just added an extra iron.
Yeah, that's
We got a couple. We have Josh Carroll's team is the pure photosynthesis sun team.
yeah,
Yep.
that's scary. That's really
Oh.
scary.
Yeah, his team looks solid.
Josh doesn't know what he's doing, but his team has enough just like beef sticks that he might still win a couple games. Just gouging fire, hitting people in the sun might just do enough.
I can do it for sure. Okay. I'm gonna try and switch to
I got an ad. Ew.
add. Why can't I switch to? Hey, Pyroki. Why can I not switch tabs to? Sorry, I'm trying to get. Figured I'd pull up. We could look at the teams maybe. Saw you were live. Thank you, Pyroki. We did win our first match today. We're supposed to play an Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire match, but my opponent's not quite getting to me, so I might just do that at a random time. Folks in the league, especially new folks, are there any questions you had or things you wanted explained or anything like that?
Yeah. So why don't you explain? One of the things we were seeing with Alex is I think he's using the what's it called, the Pokédex thing. Alex, what's it called?
Yeah,
Showdown?
Outdex?
And can you just kind of walk through? I think it's actually probably a really good example of someone who's using it as a new tool, and some of the really strengths of it, but also some of the limitations, right? Because I don't think it's giving you the exacts. It's just trying to give you,
Close.
what they could doing, right, or what they would guess that it might be doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
So I had there was happened in a match that I was where Iron Hands had Thunder had faster speed. At least going back to
You're cutting out a little bit, so I'm having trouble hearing what you're saying.
so Iron Hands had, I don't know what was Iron Hands base speed, Luke?
Iron Hands, Smogon. That's
50.
messed up.
Or no.
50 speed.
Yeah.
Iron Hands is 50 speed, so you added 16 speed, which would make it 66 speed.
Oh, okay. So
Well, if you include the EVs, it gets to 140 because I gave it 16.
Okay, because 31, yeah. Well, 140.
The 50 base stat isn't necessarily that's not tied to like the actual number. I think I don't think it's the actual number at level 100. It might be the number at 50.
yeah, that's the base stat is.
What's the
How
base
do you
speed? Is
explain
what
it?
I mean.
Yeah, it's
Not the stat, but the base speed.
it's where you start. Nice speed creeping on the Azu.
No, I'm all of my
But the number you're looking for is 140, but
Yeah.
yeah.
140. Okay, so Iron Hand's speed was 140. And he was able to Thunder Punch faster than most of my Pokemon's abilities. So I was just confused why he was outspeeding them.
Okay. So
Was he scarred?
I was using like Sucker Punch and it was outspeeded. I was using.
Well,
So let's do this.
Yeah,
Alex, can you do us a favor? Can you pull up your team sheet, or maybe you already
Yes.
posted it? Does it show the stats on the team sheet, or just show the builds?
Yeah, or we
shows the
and we
builds.
can do the replay too, because I broke down the roar. Like the roar's a negative priority, so that's why that went first. I think it just outsped Azumarill just because I gave it like a couple extra.
Well, Azumarill actually has less.
to begin with.
Azumarill actually had less speed than Iron
And
Hands.
then I would have to check the others.
But 4 of my Pokemon have faster speed than Iron Hands. It just seemed like Iron Hands was wiping my whole team. But I couldn't attack first.
Well,
Let's
alright.
watch it again.
Who did you think Iron Hands was faster than? Or who did you think was faster than Iron Hands?
yeah, maybe we watch the replay and kind of go into it.
E-Sharp and Urshifu.
Yeah, let's do that. I think that's a good idea.
Okay, so Bisharp and Urshifu. Let's
Are we able to screen share on Discord, or no? Is that not a thing in Discord?
Just
Oh, we
you
can
can on pen, but Austin's got it on his.
we got it on Twitch.
On Twitch. Okay, I'll just
I guess it's a little probably behind, but okay.
Yeah,
So
it's a little lagged behind on mine.
we've
my
got Iron Hands here. Okay, Iron Hands Urshifu. let's see. I'll give it like a second to catch up, and then we'll see what happens.
You bring the Urshifu in, and it eats a Thunder Punch because it switched in.
Mhm.
So that happens up front.
Then
Alright.
Urshifu probably goes first. I would think Urshifu's about to go first.
Yeah. Why don't you hover over their icons? You can see their estimated speeds. Awesome.
Yes.
179 to what was the high end for Urshifu?
322.
322 versus. I'm sorry.
Urshifu's speed is 293.
293.
But Urshifu outsped Iron Hands. Urshifu
You
went
should be
first.
for sure outspeeding Iron Hands here.
By quite a
Orange
bit.
He does.
Any speed in it.
Yeah, Urshifu beat him.
Yeah. So your first one you took because you switched into it, and then we see what
I knew
happens.
that one. I knew that one. Yeah.
So you outsped, which is expected.
Close combat. You expected to go first on that. That makes sense.
Okay, that one. All right.
And then he follows up with another attack. I believe draining punch here. Yep.
That's one turn.
Yep. So that went as expected. Now the Bisharp you're bringing in here again, he's gonna take this free hit.
And then he does outspeed him once he does.
So
No, doesn't he use Sucker Punch here?
you switch in.
Yeah,
Well,
he
he
does.
doesn't
Yeah,
do
he
anything
does
here. He
Just
switches,
puts
right?
it in. He's taking the draining punch. Yeah. So now you're even.
Now you
Quick
guys
sucker
pick your moves and you start a new turn.
Yep.
And
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm just confused.
you go first. Yes.
Yeah. So you Terra Darked. You did Sucker Punch, which would go first regardless.
All right, I was just
as long as
confused.
he chose an attack move,
Cool.
So,
and then
so
you just don't deal enough damage to the Iron Hands with the Dark
Yeah, I
attack.
just
It's
none of them
fighting.
worked. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, and
You-
the biggest thing here is you just had to you took a lot of free hits by switching in, which is, I mean, I don't know if you probably weren't on listening when I was talking to Austin, but switching, I'll call it bad switching, which isn't to imply that anything wrong about skill levels or anything, but making a switch to take a free hit is a pretty big penalty. Unless you make a switch into something that doesn't have to pay that penalty very hard, and you were taking a lot of switches into things that you were paying a pretty big penalty to just let Iron Hands just free punch you every turn.
Especially as considering
That's
the Draining Punch resetting its health, which is already ridiculously high to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's also that's why it's also good to have walls on your team, something that you can safely switch into if
Yeah.
you need to.
Yeah, the Zygarde was that on your team here, as was the Houndstone, I think. I think the biggest thing that happened in this match that kind of just threw it in Luke's favor is you let the Swampert Ice Punch it. Like,
Yeah.
you needed to take your Zygarde was the counter to like 4 out of his 6
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Yeah, I figured that out, but it didn't protect as much as I should have.
Yeah,
What
Swampert-
set were you
the
running
ice
on this? That's pretty interesting to me. Was it a Dragon Dance set? Yeah.
he
Okay.
had Dragon Dance, Thousand Arrows, Substitute, and Glare.
Yeah, no ground resist,
classic.
one Dragon Dance, and you would have been like off to the races. Other than you did need to find a solution to Swampert first, but what? You could a couple of a Sucker Punch or two, Urshifu getting a punch off, Azumarill. Wait, let's talk about Azumarill if you don't mind, really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up with Zoomerl? Why was he running Sap Sipper instead of Huge Power?
He's not running Sap
There's
Sipper.
no.
Oh, he's in Super. He is running Sap Sipper. He was
Yeah,
more of a
he-
stall. His build at
Okay.
Pokemon was like a stall.
See, yeah, he's got a good typing for stall, and he's got like good HP. I was just wondering, cause it's definitely a unique set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked at set builds for
Yeah.
certain types of.
Looking at Luke's team, I would have at least run a fairy type move on Azumarill, just so that you had that coverage, because that fairy type could have easily dealt with Iron Hands the multiple times that you ran into him.
Yeah.
Having it with Huge Power would have been better because he doesn't really have a lot of grass type moves. Sap Sipper's only good if they're running grass types or grass type moves, because that's all Sap Sipper does.
Yeah.
Huge Power would have let you actually hit.
100%.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple things I was scared of, and one of them was play rough on Azumarill. And like the other one, if you set it up before the match started, would have been doing a trick room on Slowking Galarian. That would have been a problem for me too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, not trying to dogpile on you or anything. Just seeing a couple opportunities.
It's good.
Oh yeah, just trying to give advice.
Destructive freeze.
Yeah. So like take for. Go ahead.
I for the chain.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, if you do like with Galarian Slowking, Trick Room would be good for your team because it is fairly slow, and Noah does a pretty similar thing too. That works well for him.
Here, speaking of Trick Room, I can we can scrim somebody. I'll show you guys a Trick Room team.
Sure.
Because I don't think you've. It's interesting that there's other whole teams built. Actually, I can play a good team because I'm running a Sandstorm and a Trick Room team, so you can see some examples of some like weather and some counterintuitive to like the normal run-of-the-mill like be faster than the other person type stuff.
Right.
Luke, do you mind me building a team to scrim against you? Because I personally been trying to think of counters for Trick Room, because that's a problem for my team as well. In the future, I don't think my current opponent has any Trick Room.
Well, I don't run
future
Trick
matches.
Room. Noah runs Trick Room.
Yeah, I would take a look at your
Oh, that's fine,
schedule.
I'm sorry.
I wouldn't stress trying to counter a Trick Room team unless you know for a fact you're playing against one in the next couple weeks.
Right.
I think Noah's probably the best person positioned to run Trick Room in the league by a mile.
It's not like it's his shtick every single season or anything.
He's done it so far, as far as I can tell.
I do have a thing. It's like, I'm kind of addicted to it.
Dude, I'm always scared to fight you. I'm like, what kind of nonsense is this guy?
I don't even fight Noah. So I wouldn't have to worry about that really.
Yeah, Trick Room is not a main, and it's extra like not super great in singles because you like lose a whole turn of it just on your first thing. But it's a pretty powerful gimmick when used appropriately. But it's definitely not something that you can just like. It's not something that you just like sprinkle into your team. Usually, you either run it or you're not running it.
Yeah, but
I was thinking of running Spiritomb Trick Room, and then I was realizing this isn't working out when I was just scrimming with people. So I instead ran Spiritomb differently. I think I have him as a Pursuit Trapper.
But you can run something to extend Trick Room, right? Like I did for Electric Terrain.
No,
I don't think so.
Dude, if there was, I'd be all over that item. Unfortunately, there is not.
Yeah, there is an item.
Not as good as
Trick Room's greatest downfall is you have to do it once every 5 turns.
So
it requires you.
There is no like light clay equivalent of Trick Room, unfortunately.
It probably makes sense because it would probably be a little OP if it was.
your counterplay, there's plenty of options, but the silliest is the room service item, which lowers your speed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. I thought it extended, but yeah, it does lower your speed.
That
speed
one's
by 1.
like the silliest. The most, I actually playing against Alex's brother. He in a scrim at the end of the season, he wanted to try something out. He used there's an item called is it the lagging ball or
lagging
the
tail? I think
lagging tail. It makes you slower. Yeah.
There's an item that like cuts your speed in half. Basically, it just like makes you super slow. And he was running that on his Dracovish, which the entire year he had been running as a choice scarf speed, try to attack first. And so he ran a gimmick against my Trick Room team where he actually made his Dracovish as slow as possible and then put the iron ball on it so that it'd be extremely slow so that when I Tricked Room, he would then attack first.
Absolutely
which was super
diabolical.
counterintuitive to what he'd been doing the entire season. So there are some counter things to it. And my team's biggest problem is that you kind of know Trick Room's coming. But it is a fun gimmick, though not necessarily a meta one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like Tailwind.
Tailwind and Trick Room are basically two sides of the same coin.
Yep. My match got canceled, so I guess I'm just gonna commentate your match, Alex.
Yeah, that's fine. Mine should be coming up here in 15 minutes. I guess I should. I was looking at my matchup. I think I'm good to go. I have my mon set the way I want him to. We'll see what he brings.
What do we got here for the matchup tonight?
Oh, you got Crazy Steve.
I have Crazy Steve.
Crazy
Who is
Steve
that?
is he's a good friend of mine. I was using him for mocks in Phil's league last season. He's more like a Nuzlocker, but he knows his stuff.
Ooh, yeah,
Oh, I know. I assumed as much. If he came in with you, I assumed he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
that's pretty funny because that's what my friend who I invited, Solon, he's a Nuzlocke guy. He doesn't do
yeah?
competitive, but he's giving it a shot.
I feel like he
So
learned
I
a lot
feel
through
like
the
Nuzlockers
process.
have a disadvantage because Nuzlockers are trained to not let their Pokemon faint.
Gotta head
So,
out,
like,
guys, all
So that's what I'm
Personally,
saying.
I feel like they would run into the whole switching in trap.
Yeah. It's a good
You
point.
think he's just gonna have like he's going to go into shock like as soon as his first guy dies? He's like, "What's going on?"
He's like, no, I can never use this Pokemon for the rest of Draft League.
Goodbye.
He'll have to retire it after game 1. That's gonna be tough.
Oh, jeez.
That's assuming I win. You know, I
That's
might
next
just
year's
get-
gimmick,
I might
Alex.
just
Every
put
time
it
your
in.
creature dies, every time your Pokemon dies, you have to replace it and get a new one.
All right, Mr.
That'd
Frost,
be insane.
How silly. That sounds like an
All right,
interesting
I was
concept.
actually thinking of a fun gimmick that would be interesting. Like 5th week, everybody just does like best out of 3 random battles.
Whoa.
Just don't bring your team. Best out of 3 random battles. Whoever wins that week.
It just gives people a chance to catch up if they didn't draft well.
Yeah.
That's fun. Random battles are a blast, especially what they've
I
got
love
online.
random battles.
Oh my god. That if you want to get good at like just the fundamentals of like playing Pokemon, random battles is a extremely efficient way to do it because you learn like the basics of what each Pokemon like what its shtick is. And every single game, like if you want to win, you kind of have to identify like what on my team is going to be the pathway to victory. And you have to do things like scout out like there's no team preview. You don't know what the opponent has. So you have to do things like, okay, I'm going to switch this in here to try to bait out like a switch to see what else is on their team. Just like in Draft League, you might say like, oh, I need to make sure this thing doesn't have a scarf so I can bring in my kind of slower sweeper or something to take it out. Yeah, there's kind of parallels there. Pyroki says, Nuzlocke leave. Whenever a Pokemon you draft faints, you can't use it again. Whoever has a Pokemon still at the end wins. Incredible.
Interesting.
That's how you got to do it, I think.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Could you imagine doing like a Soul Lock League where it's like you pair up with one person and if their Pokemon dies, your Pokemon dies? That would get kind of insane.
That's crazy. I got a buddy from high school who does like content creation. Every video he puts up is like 3-way randomizer, cage lock, legendary spam. I don't know like half the keywords, but they've all got lock in them. Well, we got 10 minutes.
Anybody have any questions, Jaden? I thought I heard you. I thought you had a question when we were bringing you over. Was I mistaken?
Did I have a question?
I don't know. I thought you said you had one as we were bringing everybody over, but that might have been Alex.
That's probably Alex. I don't think I really have any questions. I kind of get the gist of of everything that's going on.
Okay.
I'm honestly just having a fun time.
Yeah, you've been on the grind. You got a pretty cool team too. I respect the number 1 Ceruledge pick a lot. Because he's like, I think it's a good value for 13 points. And it is dangerous.
I want to talk about the turn 1 Jolteon select out of my brother.
Just to spite you.
Did you see what he nicknamed it week 1?
No, what did he nickname it? I got it.
The Baltimore Bolts.
Oh my god, that's incredible.
And then he did nothing with it. He brought it in, he choice scarfed it when it was faster than the entire opponent's roster, and just let it die. I was just like, what a waste. What a waste of my Jolteon.
I'm like so scared of Matt as like a player, so it brings me great joy when he drafts these mono like single type teams because it's so much easier to deal with.
Yeah.
Isn't he in the Phil's league? Didn't he run the bug team?
He had the
Yes.
Bug Boys. You got to
He is
semis.
fan of gimmicks.
Sorry,
My
I talked
brother
over
is a
somebody.
fan of- My brother is a fan of gimmicks.
Yeah.
So
Hey, it's also if you guys also have the idea sometimes if you're just to do a sanity check with somebody. Jackson just sent me his team and he was running a Zangoose with a Toxaboard, but was accidentally running the ability Immunity, which prevents him from getting toxin poison. So
what was the point? Is he just trying to hard counter like Caleb's trick play? Like
he's supposed to be running toxic.
Could you imagine? Do you imagine somebody tricking you and getting a toxic orb
It's an
off of something
8D
like
chest
that?
right there.
And he like, what?
let me just say, Jackson, that was not. He wasn't like giant big brain. Like I'm holding toxic orb while carrying immunity. No, he thought he was supposed to be running toxic boost, and he was like, "This orb doesn't work. I don't understand." So it happens. Ask Luke. He accidentally used the wrong ability in his playoff game, and it threw off his entire thing. So
Dude, I swore I put electric terrain on there. I don't know how that happened.
yeah. So hey, it's a good thing to just check. Make sure your abilities and things are how you want them going into a game. You could definitely make some mistakes sometimes. So.
I think Alex really wants to learn though. I hope he can be like how I was last year, because he definitely like wants to know what he's doing right and stuff.
Right.
But
Fire in his soul.
it was
Actually, I do
be
have
the
a
person
question.
on the other side of it
Oh.
this time around.
Yeah.
Question?
Yeah, question. So, my Deoxys speed. The
Yeah.
only thing I can figure to use him for is hazards.
That
And
is
maybe
technically
screen.
what you see him used for.
Yeah, there you
there-
go. That is all he's used for.
Actually,
So there's no other use for him?
He
no,
can he
that's
can
not
hit
true.
pretty hard with Psycho Boost.
That's not true. So let's take a look here. Let's go. We'll just go. Nat Dex Ubers. Let's find Deoxys Speed. Let's just see what he can do. Deoxys Speed. Okay. So a couple observations here first. Let's look at the base stats. Obviously, 396 base speed. You're outspeeding everything, and that's nice. But
Yeah.
it's not
Unless
just that
it's
you've.
scarfed.
Yeah. Well, no. Even with the
Whoa.
scarf, you're outspeeding some stuff,
He's not
right?
outspeeding Reggie Alecki, let's not forget.
Yeah, that is very
Imagine
important.
if you used the one that hasn't beat.
Well, I got outsped in a scrimmage by a Scarf Masquerade, which
Yeah, that makes
really
sense.
hurt me.
Yeah, well, yeah, Masquerade is pretty quick by itself, and it does tend to run a choice item because it's very good at U-turning.
But let's
Yeah.
see what else is going on here. So you don't always have to invest full speed here, right? If you have a choice Masquerado, there's going to be a threshold in which you don't need to. You're either not going to outspeed it or you are, and you could probably dip. With this much speed, you can invest in other stuff, right? You could put a little bulk on it. You could put max attack, a little bit of bulk, a little bit of speed, and outspeed a lot of stuff. And then looking at the move pool here, if you can invest in bulk, or if you just get off, like, if you just do a focus sash, you've got a move pool here to work with. Calm Mind. Well, that's gonna make your Psycho Boost pretty crazy. Extreme Speed, Revenge Killer. You've got Knockoff Light Screen. So you've got like a utility set there you could do. Set up screens and get out of there.
He's got Ice Punch too. He's got physical and special attack of the same caliber, right?
Yep.
By the way.
Nasty
Oh,
Plot.
you don't even need Calm Mind. He has Nasty Plot.
Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
Nasty
Good,
Plot.
You
Yeah,
could
Nasty
basically focus sash, Nasty Plot, and then go for a sweep with your speed first.
Yep. Trick.
Hmm.
You could do, what are we looking at here? You're probably not going to be recovering. Thunder
I'm
Wave.
guessing, Jaden, it's probably whatever you look him up on Smogon. So this is actually a good point. So I'm guessing when you look him up on Smogon, it says you just basically use him as a entry hazard user, is pretty much what Smogon says.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's
So-
got a very wide moveset. Like, he
So
can
the
run
reason, so this is actually a really good point, and this is a big advantage of Draft League versus like what Smogon's going to say. So the biggest reason it's going to say that basically is because usually all these guys are going to have to play in a tier, and I'm guessing they're using Deoxys Speed as playing in the they're playing in the UU tier, but you could be playing in like a tier that's like
Choose
aggressive, like
zero.
OU
Thank
or
you for the
Uber tier.
follow. Sorry.
right? And so what they're going to end up saying is they're like, oh, you know, if you're going to use Deoxys Speed, you might as well use Pheromosa, or you might as well use like Kartana or something like that, right? So it's going to say there's not really any reason to use them as a sweeper because there's better sweepers than Deoxys Speed in the same tier that you could go grab, like I just mentioned a couple of. But the problem is with playing Draft League, and you don't just have free access to go get Pheromosa or go get Kartana.
That's true.
So for your league, you might be like, this is the best sweeper I have. And so, yeah, okay, he's not the best sweeper in the whole game, but running a Focus Sass Nasty Plot Psycho Boost is still a pretty disgusting thing that you could put together. He has 180 speed. He has 100 special attack. So Smogon's not going to be like, that's not the best way to play him because that's not how it would be competitive in the OU or Uber. But that doesn't mean that it won't work for what your team's doing against whoever, you know, you're going against and what your team needs. So that's like a really cool part of draft that you can use people in more creative ways because you're not having to go against every pure meta Pokemon in the game, right? Because only one person gets Pheromosa and only one person gets Kartana. You're not playing against Kartana every week.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. I guess the one thought that I was thinking is like, all right, so I could either run him as hazards, run him as a fast sweeper. I already have a good chunk of fast sweepers. His type is is just pure psychic. I have a Metagross, it's steel psychic. In my opinion, a better at least brawler for a psychic type than that's easier to use than a Deoxys Speed. And so I'm thinking, is Deoxys Speed actually good for my team? I have a better hazard set. I have Garganacl. He's a great hazard setter that can do more stuff than just come in and set hazards. And so I'm thinking, do I swap him out? I was looking at Sneasler because he's available, but I'm like, I don't know. It might be something later, but it's just things I'm running through in my head.
Deoxys Speed is essential for your team because you don't have any speed control otherwise.
Yeah, like, he is by far your fastest mon. Nothing else comes close.
He outspeeds the whole league, which is like a pretty big advantage.
The only thing he doesn't outspeed is the Regieleki, but I mean, you don't. The other trick is you don't have any ground types. So if and when you find Regieleki, you might have a bit of a problem, but otherwise, I think you're pretty safe with the Deoxys Speed. Like he's great. He's a great lead. You can use him as an early threat, or you can use him as an early screen setter or hazard setter, whatever you want to do with him. You got options.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't throw him.
I'll say something not as sexy too, but like you can, like, some people don't really invest in defense that much in this league, or just in general, and you could throw an assault vest on it, set your screens, get out, and then kind of do it again because you have more defense built up. You know,
you can't. Wearing an assault vest, but I understand.
Nice try.
Well, yeah, I mean, something like.
No, he's got a good point there.
That.
I mean, check out this. I was seeing a set somewhere that was. Here we go. No, that's not the set I was looking at. You can invest.
Hold on, let me. My stream's really behind. If you could hold up a second for me.
Oh, you're fine. I'm trying to find the right spot, anyways.
But yeah, something like to boost your defense because people don't think about that often.
Yeah, you could do bulky high attack with assault vest. You're probably gonna outspeed and get off like a big psycho boost and survive, which is pretty neat. So all this to say, there are other things you can do with Deoxys Speed, but it's very understandable why you were given the impression that that's the only thing you could do with Deoxys Speed.
Yeah, that's what you typically see him do, but he's a very flexible Pokemon just because of how well-rounded his stats are, and his move pool is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Alex, are you going to be starting your match soon?
In theory, I'm waiting for Steve to message me.
All right. Well.
Yeah, and Jade, one thing to think about too is you were mentioning like switching into Sneasler. Now, I'm not super familiar with Sneasler, but a good advantage of Deoxys Speed versus Sneasler is, from what I understand, pretty specifically good at doing one particular thing, right? He's going to be fast and he's going to hit you with a physical move. You're not going to build Sneasler like special. You're not going to build him with a special attack. Like, he's going to be really powerful, but he's also is a much narrower use pool than how you can use this Deoxys Speed, which is a good being in a draft league where like 1 week your Deoxys speed is hazard setting and the next week he's focus hash nasty plotting can be really difficult to plan for when you don't know how you're going to use this guy that could be used in really wide ranges of, build sets.
I think that's actually probably the best advice right there. Only because like right now I'm running this like, oh, these mons are going to be the same the entire league. It's like, no, I don't have to run them the same way the entire league. I can be flexible with depending on what team I'm going up against. That's something I got to keep in mind.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off, and you guys can stream my game if you'd like. It sounds like Steve's on, ready to play. So.
All right. I'm gonna hop out of the voice chat. I think for this, just because there's a lot of voices for the match. Thank you guys.
As well, if you wanted to do commentary with one or two other people, the other guys could go down to the other.
Does anybody want to give it a go with me?
Whatever you want to do.
Man, I wouldn't mind watching on the stream, and maybe giving some commentary. Could be fun.
Cool.
All right, I'm gonna hop out, guys, and I'm gonna close off the stream too. So I'll come back after the game's over.
All right, cool. Just send me a link whenever you can.
Okay, we'll do.
Are we staying in lobby or are we going down to game?
We'll go down to gaming.
Okay.
All right, I'm in another voice channel. Hello.
All right.
All right, welcome to the stream, by the way.
Thank you. I don't think I've ever been a part of a streamer's stream.
Oh, well, here you are. It's a humble community. I play DK64 randomizer on weekday mornings. That's and then Pokemon sometimes in the evenings. And I've got a lot of very cool people that watch.
Nice.
Hiroki, who ordered the spooky dance party. All right, we've got a match. The Tyson. Tyson's Toxicologist. Incredible name. All right, we've got the game here. Okay, this is gonna be a little tricky because the stream is behind. So let me. Can you watch at the same time on your monitor instead of like looking at my stream so it's up to date for you?
That is a fantastic idea. I can do that.
Cool.
Let me switch. I went to my. I'm have it connected to a TV, so I'm like.
Got it.
Just trying to bounce between. Let me go showdown. Who's running this? It's. Oh, come on, showdown. Stop being dumb.
There's a link in the general channel. Okay, so looking here, we've got Crazy Steve with the absolute units here. We've got Iron Crown, Enamorous, some big special threats there. Honestly, everything here is pretty high powered. Incineroar is pretty good for attack and utility. Ogerpon Wellspring's dangerous and fast. This is he brought some guys. And then we've got Alex's like kind of chonky defensive team. Probably going to try and utilize the screens to protect against the onslaught coming from Steve's big breakers. Potentially you get like a brick
I know
break.
Aurora Veil is going to be a big play on Alex's side.
Absolutely. That is when you're watching. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Aurora Veil is going to be a big part of this. Maybe Steve brings some counterplay, like a Brick Break Incineroar or something like that. And we've got the Ninetales to start, as expected, against Incineroar.
Yeah.
A little Intimidate, Ninetales is not gonna care about that.
Not at all.
Risks. If you stay in, you take a lot of damage from a big Flare Blitz or something, or even probably a Fake Out first.
Yeah.
Ninetales is pretty frail. Gets faked out.
Fake out.
Yep. Might die from a Flare Blitz, so you got to be careful here. It would outspeed, so you'd get the Aurora Veil off, but you're only getting one off in that case, and that's going to be a long.
Yeah.
I think
You're gonna have to do a lot in that 7 turns. I'm sure he's running White Clay for Aurora Tail. Aurora Veil,
Stays
sorry.
in. Oh, crit! I think that might have mattered because
Dang.
of the Aurora Veil.
Yeah, probably.
That is big for Crazy Steve. I think it mattered. I'm not sure. What's the calc here?
Oh boy, I knew this was coming. His Rhyperior is a tank, and it hits hard, and it has amazing coverage.
So that crit absolutely mattered. That was Calcadex is showing me about a 50% chance to kill. Or
Wow.
a 2-hit KO, about 50% damage. So that was absolutely huge for Crazy Steve. He's gonna switch out into the Great Tusk on the Stone Edge. So,
Missed. Oh, that hurts.
yeah. So definitely a little bit of hacks, but also a good move from Crazy Steve. What is this Rhyperior doing against this Great Tusk?
It could throw an ice move out. If he ran an ice move on it,
What are
has
the
at least a 2-hit.
Yeah, what are the Terra types? We've got Alex is up here. It could be an ice type or a fire type Terra. So that could be something.
If I remember correctly, I've scrimmaged him before, and he said he likes throwing ice on Rhyperior.
Yeah, it's a great Terra Captain, especially because it takes 3/4 damage from super effective attacks with that crazy defense stat. It makes ice even better than the ground.
What does Flame Ward on Drifloon do?
Could be Psycho. What is it? Psycho Share or something. You can like pass off your status
Flare
effect.
boost.
Flare
If this Pokemon is burned, it has special attack at 0.5 power, so it's basically Guts,
Oh,
but for special.
I've never heard of this
Interesting.
before. That's crazy. So what's Steve gonna do about
And
this?
that's definitely the ability he has if he's running a Flame Orb.
Yeah, but he has no way to increase his speed still. He's got 284. Oh, he's got Thunder Wave. That'll deal with the speed. Full paired, a little rough. Oh my god, that did big damage.
Hard.
Now, Steve is burning through the
That's a lot
Aurora Veil
of
turns.
damage.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage.
Oh man.
2 turns for Aurora Veil. Loses the Suin Gudra. But the Aurora Veil's coming up, and I think most things are going to kill this in 1 hit.
Yeah,
we've
see,
seen-
that's why I traded out the Hisumi Gudra, because I did pick him in the original draft, but I just could not use him.
Judging by that hit, I'm assuming this is an offensive Gudra, because they're typically really tanky. The ice, what was it? What was that, an Ice Beam? Ice Beam did fair damage for the Aurora Veil being up, and it not being stabbed. So I think it was probably an offensive as opposed to a bulky Gudra. But
Now, what is Crazy Steve going to do? Aurora Veil drops in a turn, so that's going to really affect Alex's tankability.
Yeah, you kind of want to see. You want to either find something that can kill this with the Aurora Veil up, or find a way to stall for 1 more turn, because Aurora Veil's not going up again. You know that much. You've got the rocks up, which is good. Articuno's taking big damage unless it has boots. If you switch this back in, you're in trouble. Iron Crown comes out. Are you going to outspeed? Almost certainly, unless you're a bulky variant. Old switch. And is going to try and stall out the final turn, I think, by switching to something that can maybe Incineroar?
Well, if he's Steel Psychic, it depends on what the spooky balloon is going to attack with.
Probably goes for the ghost type move. That's super effective.
True.
You know, you got Shadow Ball there, or Hex. We don't know what the last move is, but I'd have to assume it's a coverage move with Calm Mind. Like, if
So
otherwise
either Namorous or Incineroar would be a good switch in here.
goes into
Ogre Pond.
and takes a big
That's-
Hex.
Big
But
X. That's a surprising switch in.
yeah, but you do outspeed, and I guess you're alive. You're alive. You can do stuff and you're fast. It's not a total waste. I think I probably would have gone Incineroar there, but he might be saving that Intimidate for some of the other guys. And there's the kill. So we got a pretty, I don't know. What do you think about the status of this match? Is somebody winning right now?
I think it's still a pretty fair game between the two.
Yeah. This is like the worst matchup in the world. Ferrothorn, Ogerpon.
I don't
Nice
see
U-turn.
any Mons particularly like beating out any of the other team severely.
Yeah. I think if you get that Articuno out of the way, I think Enamorus goes crazy.
I think I agree with you.
It's fast. Actually, it's this Ferrothorn you got to worry about. I think I switch out if I'm Alex here. I want to keep this Ferrothorn because it walls the Ogerpon really well. The Ogerpon gets really scary. No, the Enamorus is much worse.
Well, I mean, the Rhyperior does kind of counter that Enamorus a little bit. Just a good if a Stone Edge hits the Enamorus, that'll hit really hard.
And that's full HP. So Rhyperior can survive for a little bit. Rocks are gonna help. I doubt he's packing boots on that Rhyperior. Can we learn anything about the Rhyperior from the Rock? He used Stone Edge. No, we haven't learned too much about that Rhyperior, so we don't know yet.
Yeah.
They're considering their moves wisely. I think I do like Crazy Steve's position better here. Goes for a Protect to learn some information and sees the Flare Blitz coming. I feel like you gotta switch into Rhyperior here. Steve has no reason to click any other button. And the recoil, so it depends if there's fire coverage on something else to handle Ferrothorn. Lives and dies. Okay. Rocky Helmet. So
yeah.
That
was an interesting switch.
Oh my god. Zamazenta's fast. What's Zamazenta's speed?
Oh, he is fast boy.
He faster than
both if I remember correctly, don't Zamazenta and Zacian have the same speed? It's the Zacian hits harder, Zamazenta is more bulky.
Yeah, this thing's got 138 speed. I had no idea. Okay, that's a problem. I think you gotta. Okay, unless this Enamorus is Choice Scarfed, that changes things. I think you're going to what? Yeah, this Zamazenta's a huge problem for him.
Yeah.
But
I could see a Great Tusk coming in.
Yeah.
Because he can't, at least type-wise, Iron Crown.
Those Crown.
Psychic.
I mean, look, this is your biggest problem.
Is it neutral damage there?
Say it again?
Is it neutral damage there? Does Psychic resist fighting?
Psychic resist fighting. Yes, I believe. Goes for the Future Sight. So something's getting blasted, but Iron Crown's probably going down.
That might be a play to try to get Ferrothorn out, because Ferrothorn takes that Future Sight pretty well.
There's the crunch. So something's going to take damage. Maybe Steve can find an opportunity to use the Future Sight and get the things out of the way. I still think Enamorus is the play. Granted, like, you can take a hit. You can take a single hit from Zamazenta. And Enamorus is fully healthy. This team doesn't like dealing with it. We'll see if the Articuno has boots or not. I think that's the biggest question. Great Tusk is in. I think Steve really wants to get rid of this Zamazenta while maintaining the Enamorus. And the Ogerpon does go pretty well against the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Noah says, oh, hello, Holly Joy 21. Welcome, Late Night Spooky, yep. Noah says, Stuart Gator 101996 says, Zamazenta's busted. Why not banned? Only cover legendary, not banned. Heavy Slam will hurt. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Those stats are nuts. I guess it's allowed because it's allowed in OU, and like there's stuff that we have banned, or that we allow here that's in Ubers, right? Pheromosa, stuff like that.
Are they not allowed their items?
That looks like
the
boots.
rest of the shield
That's big.
for Zamazenta?
Oh, whoa, nice. They're not allowed to have their like shield or whatever. They're sort of their shield. So they got to run something else to make them, to ground them a little bit and make them reasonable. Because otherwise you get like 160 base stats. Big close combat. That is enormous for Crazy Steve. And he's got a healthy Great Tusk.
Healthy Grace Tusk.
Do you outspeed? You probably outspeed this Rhyperior. Do we see a Terra
The
this turn?
Rhyperior's tank. Rhyperior's the tank. I don't know. If it's Terra Ice, that'd be a bad idea because that's still a weakness to fighting.
Terra Ground.
Terra Ground.
And takes that
Okay,
pretty
that
well.
got pretty good rock weakness. That's
Red card hits the Ogre Pawn and saves the.
wow.
That's
That's an unfortunate red card. That
Well-
Ogre Pawn might have been able to help with this Rhyperior. I think the Rhyperior comes in and sweeps.
yeah. You're not
With
quite
its rock.
killing with a Moonblast yet with the Enamorous. I don't think.
Yeah.
You're close though. You're so close. So do you bring back the Great Tusk? Yeah, this is tough. Unless, so Mystical Fire. You bring in Great Tusk here, almost certainly. You bring in Great Tusk. You try to get some damage on the rock, and then with the Enamorous, hopefully you're not like choiced, and then you do what? Moonblast, Mystical Fire, Moonblast, and you win.
Yeah, but if he's choiced, then he has no option.
Yeah. Oh.
It's a loss because he comes in with Ferrothorn and just destroys the Enamorous.
Yeah. Does he have Heavy Slam too? That's what Noah was saying. If you Heavy Slam or Stone Edge, there's a pretty good chance to kill in one hit. And Zamazenta does outspeed. Brings in the Great Tusk, perfectly healthy. It's not like Rhyperior can do a lot against this either. What do you do? What moves are on it? That's going to be a big question. Probably.
Yeah, that's the thing with Rhyperior. It has a great moveset.
Yep.
It knows a lot of coverage moves.
Oh, it has Avalanche. We know it has Avalanche, so that's going to do pretty good damage to Great Tusks. Will it be enough? No.
Does he Earthquake here? If he has Earthquake?
Yeah, that's going to do more damage, almost certainly. That's what Calc Dex is saying as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
This is a good match. This is a good tight match. I'm proud of my boy Steve. Alex is a good opponent.
Yeah. I'm really glad I'm not facing Alex before the playoffs.
Big Headlong Rush. 32. That's going to put it in Enamorous range. And lives. That
Wow.
means you can... Oh, someone's on YouTube. Thanks for joining. I started doing multi-streaming because OBS just like allows it now. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, cool.
Another Headlong Rush. That means Great Tusk is going to be able to take an attack before it comes out. Zamazenta takes a little bit of damage. Let's see what the calc's like here. Moonblast is a one hit kill against Zamazenta. And Zamazenta's crunched. Steve has one option. It is Enamorous. And what is this thing's item is the question. If it's choice, it's likely a loss. If it's a life orb or something like that, there's a chance. This is one for the ages. Wow. What a great match. I think at the very least it's a 1-0 in either direction. Zamazenta probably dies. Unless there's like a crit a bad roll on like a Stone Edge. What does this? Was it have body press crunch?
Does Alex let Zamazenta go down here?
Does Alex let Zamazenta go down?
Or does he switch, thinking that there's going to be a fairy type move? He lets it go down.
Oh,
Okay.
that's scarfed. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Scarf.
This might
Moonblast
be
is
It doesn't do anything.
Leech Seed, Protect.
Seed,
Oh
yeah.
no, they're torturing him.
Stop playing with your food.
Toxic. Oh, this thing doesn't even have attacks. It's just gonna stall. That's GG. Oh my god. Good game to Alex. That's tough.
Yeah, that's rough.
Wow. That's a great match. Oh wait, I'm very.
That was a
Body
fantastic
press.
match to watch.
Yeah, that was a great
I
match.
really liked watching it live. That was cool.
Wow. What a battle. Battle for the Pokémon Draft. Listen to it. All right. We got Alex back in here.
That was a great match.
That was a great match.
It was. I was like, all right, because he didn't bring out the Enamorous till the very end. It's like I'm pretty sure I got this.
Yeah.
I was hoping the red card would pull the Enamorous in for the Avalanche.
Oh, good call.
Unfortunately, it went to the Ogerpon. Not a big deal. But I knew I was like, well, okay, so if it's not Scarfed, and it's gonna take this Stone Edge and probably die. If it is Scarfed, the only attack it could use to kill the Zamazenta is Moonblast, and that's gonna do nothing to the Ferrothorn. That's just gonna put Leech Seed on it and sit there and watch it die.
Were you full?
Ferrothorn coming up clutch.
Yeah.
Ferrothorn G.
I had a crushing moment where I had Mystic Fire on Enamorous, but then
I figured you did. I figured you did, which is why I did not put Ferrothorn in front of it until I knew whether or not it was Scarfed.
Yeah.
And then I remembered and then I was like, wait a second, I might have. I was like, oh no, Steven, you're Scarfed. You're out of luck here. But you know what? I'll take at least down to one Pokemon.
That was a good
Yeah,
match.
that was good. You got
that was a great match.
Crit early.
Yeah, that was a good match.
Really
Those
good.
two early crits were tough.
Yeah, the crit on the Ninetales for the Flare Blitz was...
That mattered so much.
It did, because you were going to get Moonblasted. I think you probably survived it, but, like, your Incineroar was by far the biggest threat to my whole team.
Yeah. He did some good work.
If that
I knew the Drift Bloom kind of just hard countered both Incineroar and Great Tusk.
Oh yeah, that was brutal. The drip, and I looked at. I definitely fell into like I haven't played enough around with these guys, and I was looking at some of my movesets during the battle and being like, oh my gosh, why did I not put like a rock type move or something like that for Great Tusk?
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah. Well, rock would have been so like Great Tusk would have been really bad into Drift Bloom because it has Strength Sap. So if you stayed on there, I was just gonna ruin your Great Tusk. That's what was gonna happen. I was really hoping you'd leave one of your physical attackers in there long enough for me to get a Strength Sap. Like I thought you might Sword Dance the Ogerpon when you saw how weak the Drift Blimp was. So I was like, well, if he does that, he's gonna get Strength Sapped and hate his life. But you didn't. You were smart. You just you killed the thing when you needed to kill the thing.
Yeah, that was good.
So,
That was good.
That was a good first match of the league, Steve. Well played.
Honorable
Thank
introduction into the league. You've earned respect.
I'll take it. I figured I was talking with Austin, and I was like, I feel like I just gotta at least throw my heavy hitters to make a good first impression.
Yeah.
You have a terrifying team. Like, Great Tusk and Iron Crown are both and the Ogerpon.
Yeah.
All three of them are terrifying mons, and you literally brought your top six. Like, you brought a meta team. I specifically brought a couple of my lower tier mons just because you have a glaring weakness to ice.
Yep, I 100% do.
And especially if it has freeze dry, which both my Articuno and my Ninetales do.
Oh, that's a very good point. Yeah.
Yeah, freeze dry turns your ice weakness from you have 4 ice weaknesses to you have 6, and 2 of them are ×4.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was a pretty good call for me then to not keep high Drapple.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, your saving graces are your very powerful and fast steel type, and then you got the man, the myth, the Incineroar legend.
Yeah.
So
That was definitely I realized Incineroar was just a pretty decent opening against a majority of your guys. So
it was a 50-50 for me. I figured you would start with either Incineroar or Tusk, and I was like, well, Incineroar, if you're starting Incineroar, I want the balloon out, because the balloon is the hard counter for the Incineroar. But I was like, well, if it's anything but the Incineroar, the Ninetales is the right start.
Yeah.
Even the Iron Crown. The Aurora Veil probably keeps me alive long enough.
Yeah, that Aurora Veil, that was tough to deal with.
Yeah, Aurora Veil plus Ferrothorn is not a good time for anybody. Like,
yeah, there was times that when that Aurora Veil was up and I did stuff, I was like, oh shoot, that isn't good if that's what just happened. I was happy I read the Incineroar switch in with the body press. I was hoping it would do that was
a little.
Good. Yeah, that was a good read.
Yeah. I was like, okay, there's no way he's keeping this in. This thing's not going to do anything against the Ferrothorn, so we're going to assume the card counter's coming in. That's why I brought Body Press this week specifically, so I can get that hard damage on the Incineroar.
Also, Crazy Steve, you're welcome for the Hisuian Gudra.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was one I was looking at in the draft. And and then so once that was dropped, I was like, ooh.
When I saw that mon on the list of available, like your Pokemon, I was like, ugh, I don't have a good counter for that stupid Pokemon. That Pokemon is so annoying.
I think I use him very well here. I feel like he just kind of got knocked out pretty quick.
Well, nobody realizes how much damage Drifblim can do if you let him get.
Not prepared for that much damage on him.
Well, he's got Flare Boost, so if he's burned, he gets a 1.5 attack.
I didn't even know that ability existed until today.
Yeah, so Thunder Wave Hex, you're looking at a base 110 Ghost attack.
Oh, that's pretty
plus
good.
stab, plus the extra 50% damage. Like that's
when I saw you had a Flame Orb on, I was like, why is he running a Flame Orb? And I looked at the abilities. Oh, that's why he's running a Flame Orb.
There is a method to my madness, I promise. I was contemplating between Assault Vest and Red Card on the Rhyperior. The Assault Vest just didn't do enough. His special defense is hot trash.
Yeah.
So even with the Assault Vest, it's like very, very bad. So all right, I'll post the replay in
I'm gonna post my team,
and I'll get there as well.
Well, great job, guys. And thanks for an awesome stream. That was a blast. I think I'm going to hop off the voice call here and wrap up the stream. All right. Yeah, thank you guys and great job.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, welcome to the league, Crazy Steve, and
thank you.
Yep. All right, see you around. Well, guys, what an absolute blessing that was. We've gone up 3-0 in the league. Our other match didn't happen, but that's okay. Yeah, thank you for joining. I've decided I'm not going to stream tomorrow because I've streamed for 3 hours tonight, and that was longer than anticipated. So we're gonna see you guys Friday morning with we're gonna do a year's Super Smash Brothers tier list, as well as Donkey Kong 64, the wrecked settings, and we will keep you guys updated with all the remaining. I've got 3 other matches this week for Draft League, so we'll keep you updated. Thank you everybody so much for joining. What a great time we had. Let's why don't we go and like raid somebody, right? We do. We raid people. This is what happens when Elrock tells us to get wrecked. I cannot wait to find out. I pretty much have very little idea of what that means. We should probably raid Spike, right? He's great. Spike's awesome. Can't wait for the rec settings. And at some point, we're gonna do Pyroki's Redemption Seed from a while ago. We'll coordinate on that. But yeah, everybody, hope you have a wonderful night. I'm your spooky host, and thank you so much for joining. We'll see you around. Enjoy some irradiated viewer seats over at Spike's stream. They are super irradiated. That's what I've been told at the very least. Alright. Goodbye, everybody.